Salute. Good morning, Tamarka. How's your morning? All right. We got a great show today. Just give me a second. There's just so much stuff I have to do right now. I'm almost done. We got a great show today. Um, it's all right. I've been up. I had like an hour and a half of sleep. That's why I started so late. I've been up since like 4 o'clock. I've been preparing. I've been cleaning up. Yeah, I've been doing my thing basically. I did the chocolate podcast, the Chocolate Man podcast last night. So I'm still. I'm running on coffee right now. So yeah, I hope y'all will enjoy the show today. So yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I'm right now. I'm just sharing this. I'm sharing everything, but through my phone right now. We'll be starting soon. We'll be starting in like 3 minutes. So I just gotta. Yeah, putting it on the big TV and stuff. So yeah, it just this is what if you ever see me look up right here, it's just that's what I'm doing. I'm making it see so like see if everything's off. You look flushed. Yeah, yeah, a little bit. A little bit, but show must go on. You know. Let's see. There. See if this looks good. Now live. Perfect. Boom. Now live. One more. Yeah, this is what I usually do. I'm gonna start personally. I'm gonna start doing this. Before I start the show, it's just I didn't want to be too late going on to the show. So yeah. That's why if you ever see me like just doing so much, it's yeah. I just want to give y'all the best show, and I hope it looks good, brother. We never benefit from this diaspora. Everything with these people is off our black tears, sweat, and blood. Facts. I do believe that too. The reason why I believed it because I'm gonna say this. They had the chance. They had the chance with this black and brown coalition, as we call it, but they didn't take advantage of it. They took advantage of us, you know? And what I mean by taking advantage of the situation, I mean like, yo, everybody's eating, everybody's benefiting, everybody's helping. All of a sudden, once we see them in a situation like even with the Jamaican thing, and one thing I had to call Kwame out. He said he didn't need no help, but I'm seeing that America sent 12 million to Jamaica. So that's saying something. That's saying something. Saying that they can't do it without us. So that's an issue. I think that's a serious issue. You know, oh, let me fix this. Yeah, it's a serious issue. To me, it is. It's saying that again, as I've been saying, you need Big Brother. You need Big Brother FBA to help you. And they can be mad as they can be mad all they want, but you do need Big Brother. FBA. It's you can't do it by yourself. And then, I'm gonna say this: there's nothing wrong with having help, but always needing help, yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem. You know, to me, it's a big problem. I don't know how other people see it, but I see it as a problem. You know, someone you hate so much always has to help you. It should never have to be like that. You know, especially if you dislike the person. You know, and we know from experience a lot of these Africans, a lot of these immigrants, these Caribbeans, even these people who can identify as us, always has a problem with Black Americans. So yes, that is a problem. Yes, we should be saying like, okay, what the fuck is going on? We already tried the coalition. What's going on? Let's get it. 004. Salute, salute. What's good? Back at it. Yeah, gotta be back at it, man. When you have a goal, man, sometimes you're gonna be losing sleep. Sometimes you say, "Yo, I'll sleep when I'm dead." You have to do that. And yeah. So yeah, yeah, we back at it. Salute. Thank you for being on the show. Let me see. And there's never any appreciation for our sacrifices. Yes. And this is why I always tell y'all, and I know some of the audience be like, "Oh yeah, we need to block some of these people." No, let's not block these people. Let's see what we're dealing with. Let's see how these people actually really think of us. They don't. You're seeing that these people will say, "Brother, brother, brother, we're all the same," but they look at us different. So we have to take it as we got to take what they feel about us serious. Give me a second. All right, here we go. But yeah, we got to take what they're doing serious because sooner or later, we're going to be at that point where we're fighting, and all we're going to see is them in the back row talking about, "Oh, you niggas is lazy, you niggas is crying." You know? Damn, my brother. Facts. That's why I always tell Kwame, stop calling me brother. It offends. Like the thing about it offends me. I get it. I know a lot of things doesn't offend me, people, but calling me a brother, it offends me. Because I heard it so much where it's even that reparation task force. I even tell some people, yeah, cool down on the brother. It offends me, kind of. Oh, really? Why does it offend you? Is the people who call you brother will stab you in the back, and I, I, I know. Like I've been here, I've been in these type of situations long enough to know. It's like it's nothing with them. It's just it's some people don't have the same ideology as me. Some people, some people don't believe like okay, God forbid if I pass away, I want to leave something. Some people don't believe that. Some people just like, yo, I just only want to support my family. That's it. Not knowing that, like, yo, even if you do help your family out and you do stuff for your family, you're leaving them to the fucking wolves. You're leaving them to the wolf pack that you sacrificed. They're not gonna look at your kids the same. Now the question is who your kids is gonna be running with. This is why I always tell people all the time, white supremacists, this is why white supremacists go through what they go through. And the Bible says sometimes what your father left support, I mean, it affects your offspring. It affects your offspring. Your kids could be the greatest kids ever, but if you had fucking slaves and you're cutting off hands and arms and you're this fucking brute, this is what they're gonna look at your kids. This is what they're gonna look at you, your nationality. They're not gonna. And the thing about it, the white supremacists in the white community have to understand this is how people see you because history. You out here calling people, oh yeah, they're sensitive and they're all this, and that. Let's look at your history. Your history. Oh, but that wasn't me. But it came from your offspring though. It came from your father's father. It came from the seed that you're from. Now let's go back to Africans. Let's go back to the Caribbeans, the black diaspora. Let's look at their history. Let's go to the real root. Let's go to Africans. We're gonna leave Caribbeans out of it. Africans sold the Caribbeans. They put Caribbeans in that situation. All of a sudden, they're still their African brother. They can still forgive. When it comes to us, they can't forgive us. We're this, we're that, we're the whole 9 yards. And if you notice, none of the talking points has changed if they're Caribbean or not, Caribbean or African. Their talking points don't change. It still sounds the same. Now the question is, how are we benefiting off of this coalition with Africans or us uniting with Africans or Caribbeans? It's not. The Caribbeans is beat the fuck up. They don't have. I don't even think. I'm gonna be personally honest. They don't even have a fight left in them. They don't. They don't have a fight left in them. That's why you see them. They only thing they fighting for is not to go back home. It's not going back to their homeland, their motherland. They don't want to go back with those type of oppressors. What's going on, Jeff? Salute. Oh, salute. FBA convo. Salute. Salute. Um, this is what we This is what we see. No, checking in at work. Will you go live later? I don't know because I gotta go to work tonight. Um, if anything, email me. Email me. Any questions you want to ask me? Anything about a recent show or a show in the future? Let me know. You can always email me. They ain't never had no fight in them, which is why it's so easy to colonize that. Yeah, facts. I will agree right there. But this is my issue. How you have all this animosity against us and we're fighting. We were even on your side when it came to coming over to this country. We were on your side when they say like, "Yo, put them in our country, in our areas," and not knowing that these niggas did side deals with their oppressor. They did side deals with Democrats. This is the issue. All these side deals that's going on, and at the end of the day, this is what we call them. We call them side deals. Then everybody looks at us saying, "Oh, yo, we're this, we're that." Hold on, we are. Give me 1 second, everybody, and we'll be ready to go. Um, like yeah, this is how we have to think of it. It's all these side deals. It's all these situations with them. And like I'm gonna say this. Only time we see them, and only time we see them as our brothers is when they need help. Look at how all these immigrants and these Caribbeans and these Africans are changing their whole way that they look at us. And it's not. I'm not saying that they're defeated, but at the end of the day, they're looking at us because they need help. They know that they can't do it by themselves. I know that they can't do it by themselves. But you gotta understand, they put themselves in this situation. They put themselves in this situation. We did not. We try to help them. We try to be our friends. We try to, oh yo, look, let's support them. No, one second. Yeah, it's even. I'm gonna say this. Even till this day, these Caribbeans and Africans are still doing side deals with Democrats. They're still doing side deals. They're still disrespecting us. They still talking like they're better than us. And no way in hell how you say you got your own land and your land look like this. Let me tell you something. There's no way in hell Africa should be looking like this. Africa, if we really look at how old Africa is, let's even go like this. We could say Africa's 10,000 years old. Africa should not be looking like fucking Mad Max. Shouldn't be looking like Mad Max at all. It should never look like that. And I know it might seem like a niggas kicking the niggas' backs and stuff like that, but nah. Hold on one second. Yeah, it's just like we see what's going on. Hold on. Okay, yeah, it's we do all it. We do everything. We help everybody. What's going on? Graham Green, salute. Salute Graham Green. No, then what? It's just, I'm gonna be personally honest. It just doesn't work. And the best advice is go fix your country. Niggas been saying that, like, yo, fuck us, go fix your country. Help your country. Africa's is thousands of years old. It should have some type of like foundation. Facts. You're right about that. Let's get it 004. It's time to show no love. You can't disrespect people and ask for their help in the same damn breath. Yes. Then they want to blame us. Well, you called us an African booty scratcher. You know what? I'm calling you an African booty scratcher now, my nigga. I'm calling you a booty scratcher now. I'm calling y'all that now so we don't have no correlation. I'm saying it now because I'm tired of the disrespect. I'm saying it now because I know it affects you now. Niggas is tired of, let me tell you something. Niggas is tired of all of that. I feel as a black man, I shouldn't have to go through that with y'all. I shouldn't have to think that way about y'all. There's no way in hell I should have thought that about y'all. There's no way in hell I should have been like, okay, you know what? It's not that serious. I should have been on some shit like that. But no, you know what it was? Nah, fuck them niggas. Let them niggas handle that shit themselves. We're not we're saving our tears for when niggas get deported. And this goes for anybody. This goes for anybody. Anybody who thinks it's wise and smart to disrespect us. And thinking that white supremacy is behind them. Their ideology is going to help them with the white supremacists. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Give me a second. I'll read that later. But yeah, it's this is what we see, man. This is, and I know I always go back into the Bible, but this is when they say there's a time for love, there's a time for hate, there's a time for love, and there's a time for war. It's time for y'all to go to war against these white supremacists. It's time to go to war. Y'all gonna have to fight for y'all land. And I gotta be personally honest about y'all have to fight. As I always told y'all use y'all country as a fucking vacation. Y'all don't give it the respect that it's supposed to be. You think? Let me ask you a question. Do you? And this is why a lot of black people get backlashes. Do you think when black people move out the hood and stuff, they don't go back to the hood and try to contribute, try to help and fix? Like, come on, we always used to do that. Yeah, it's time for them to fight back. It's time for them to stay out of our business, and it's time for them to fight back. There ain't no way in hell that there should be more of them in this country than in their country. There's no way in hell it should be like that. That's saying that y'all haven't been doing what y'all was supposed to be doing. I'm just being personally honest. That's why nobody want a black diaspora coalition. This is why we don't want a brown coalition. We don't want these coalitions no more. The people who fuck with us, they fuck with us, and we will protect those people. We gotta cherry pick this stuff now. We can't be on that same time talking about, well, Jerry helped, but his family didn't. Nah, fuck that. Fuck it. Jerry, we fuck with you, Harry. But your cousin Little Petey with the Bob Marley hat or with the Kute Kente cloth, we ain't fucking with him. That nigga going down with this ship. We are not helping him. Yes, they gave up on their land. That's why sooner or later there's gonna be more Indians and more Asians and more white supremacists on their land than them. They're gonna steal all your resources. All those resources that y'all talk about in the next 30 years is gonna be gone. Put it this way. They are the majority of their land, and look how their country looks. They have no resources in this country. This is why they go country to country, continent to continent. That's why they beating the shit out of y'all with bamboo sticks. This is why you smell curry and all that Indian food everywhere. That's why in New York, an Indian man is saying that he's Ugandan. This is what's happening. And we try to warn y'all about that. We warned y'all about Kamala with that shit. Kamala tried to do the same thing. Obama caught us with the okey doke. Talk about he's black. No, the nigga's African. Nigga's from Kenya. Kenyans don't really fuck with us like that. I'm gonna be personally honest. They don't fuck with us. And I forgot to say this. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Bronze Reaper podcast. I'm your host, Rosalind Perkins, and today we got a great show today. I didn't take no notes. I want to do this on the fly today. I'm doing this on the fly today. Does Black Americans benefit from the Black diaspora, or does foundational Black Americans benefit from the Black diaspora? This is the question that people been asking lately. And as y'all know, I'm going to say no. And this is what I'm going to say this. If we did benefit from them, I'm going to be personally honest. If we did benefit from them, why the fuck their country look like that? Why the fuck you doing more work in America and not in your country? This is my issue, and this is why I always tell y'all all the time. They can't do anything for us. We try to have them stayed on code. They didn't want nothing to do with it in the 70s and the 80s and the 60s. You know, and I will say this, yeah, there was very few of them doing it, but there was other people doing it for bad intentions, no good intentions. I personally, like I said, I don't really think these people have great intentions when it comes to Black Americans. I don't think there's great intentions when it comes to them. Like, I'm personally seeing that. And I know people like, yo, that's fucked up. You shouldn't say that. But let's be personally honest. Look at Akon. He's dripped down in Black American culture. But he tried to say, oh, yo, look at the Africans. He tried to take everything that we created and we produce and what we do better and say, yo, Africans do it better. Africans are hard workers. They're hard workers. Black people can't compare to them. They got their pants hanging down from their ass. They're smoking, they're drinking. Nigga, you was a part of it. You was a part of that party. You know, and shout out to everybody who actually stays in their country and fight, you know, and not have to run and not. And like, I understand. I know this shit's frustrating, but at the end of the day, the only way your country is going to get better, the only way that you're going to get better in your country if you fight for your country. You already see the weak people. Let me tell you something. If Black Americans have been doing shit with being the minority, then you can do something as being the majority of your country. We are the minority of this country. We're only like 14, 15%. And it's so bad right now. And now I understand why. And the thing, I see why Donald Trump tried to take Black history out of schools. But at the end of the day, this doesn't stop from us teaching our kids what our lineage is, who has these creations, who built stuff. We have the education out here. Why the fuck we dependent on people who will call fucking DCF on us because we yelled at our kids? This is the type of you pay for that. Yeah. Facts, Ray Ray. Salute to Ray Rays. No other leeches have done anything beneficial to us. Yeah. Nothing. Let me tell you something. The only thing that these people have done is set a fucking speech. Yes, American history is our history. Like, if we really wanted to be an asshole, we could be running up to these schools and saying, yo, why are you lying to our kids? Why are you telling our kids about these lies? And knowing that that stuff is not true. We'll fuck shit up where they don't want history in school anymore. U.S. history's in school no more. Like, let's personally be honest. There ain't no. Let me tell y'all something. To all Africans, there is no way in hell that y'all niggas in Central Africa and y'all niggas in East Africa let that shit happen to Congo. I'm gonna be personally honest. There's no way in hell y'all should have let that shit happen. While we see shit happen in different states and we fuck shit up. You had this freaky ass Belgian man come into in that country, did worse than fucking Hitler did. Cut off arms, killed 15 million people. Rape, brutalize people. And y'all niggas just stood there and didn't do anything. All this shit that's happened in the Nigeria and Sudan, y'all should be having to call Black America. Y'all should be fucking protesting. Y'all should be fucking bringing guns to those people and stopping the war in Sudan and Nigeria. If something happens in Florida, you got niggas from Alabama, Georgia, fucking Mississippi, Texas going down there, protesting, fucking shit up, burning shit down. How the fuck are you talking? This is why I get when niggas say how y'all qualified to even ask us a fucking questions about what's going on with us. You're not qualified. Then when we say, yo, y'all not qualified because y'all niggas don't have toilets in y'all country. Y'all niggas is defecating in the streets. There's signs that saying that y'all niggas is defecating in the streets. Oh, xenophobic. Everything's xenophobic when niggas ask you a question about your fucking country. Everything's xenophobic when they say y'all niggas is not qualified to ask us a fucking question about what the fuck is going on in America. It is divisive when we say, yo, y'all niggas need to go back home and build your fucking country, nigga. Salute to Inju Unity. Salute. And salute to LA too. It's just we can't keep on doing this with these people. We all know that there's no unity. Why we're trying to make some imaginary fucking coalition? These are wolf tickets. Because once they get on top, we're going to see their flags out here. We're going to see their tribal flags. We're going to see these niggas' true colors. We have seen it. Let me tell you something. We have created HBCU schools, historical black college universities. And we say, let these niggas come to our school. Let them get this great education that we have. But guess what? When they graduate, you don't see no black unity flag. We see tribal flags. We see true colors. We get solutions of why they say what they say about us. The solution is because they got a degree now. They started getting degrees. Yeah, facts. Fuck them. This is the time to say fuck them. 004 said, that's what we do. Fight. Tell us agree with the white supremacy. Facts. They do. Where's Toro? Why hasn't he stopped this? Abraham ain't gonna do anything, Ray. I'm gonna be personally honest. Abraham ain't doing nothing because you know what? He cares about himself. He cares about his country. All this shit that's going down in Africa. If niggas is supporting him in Africa, niggas keep on yelling this nigga's name. He should be trying to figure out African problems. Stopping these fucking civil wars and these guerrilla warfares that's happening in these countries. Ain't no way in hell y'all should be letting these fucked up teeth fucking Frenchmen talk to y'all any type of way. There ain't no way that these vampire looking motherfuckers from the UK should be saying the shit that they're saying to y'all. Putting their hands on you and stuff. These potato fucking slaves kicking the shit out of y'all, beating y'all the fuck up. Having old Irish women try to steal your bag. Are you fucking serious? This is the type of unity we don't want because you know why? We're always gonna have to offer to y'all help. There's a time in a place. There's a time when you gotta cut niggas off and say, "Yo, I'm not giving you no more money." You know that cousin that always asks for money when you ask him how his day is? Yeah, hey yo, cuz, how's your day? Maintaining, trying to keep my head above water. Oh shit, nigga asking for money. Hey yo, yo, I gotta go. Yo, God rest you, God bless you, my nigga. I gotta go. This nigga about to ask for money. Maintaining, trying to keep the head above water. That's when the nigga about to ask for money. Hey yo, I get paid next week. Can you throw me a few dollars? This is the type of shit. And the thing about it, and I'm not trying to shit on people's family members and stuff like that, but nigga. Sold them out. It keeps on happening. Hey yo, are you on code in June? Unity is it in Unity? Are you on code? I think you're on code, right? But yeah, this is the type of shit that I was telling people about. This is why I say, yo, this shit ain't. It was never gonna work. The only way it's gonna work is they handle their own problem. Salute, salute. I knew I was like, yo, that look like on code. That's why I always try to tell you. I try to remember most of y'all, man. Salute, salute. But yeah, it's and like this is why I say even I'm telling you, the Africans and the Caribbeans is doing what the white supremacists is. Remember I was telling y'all, remember that show I had? Let me see what show it was. There was two shows. It's not that one. Uh, uh, all right, so it was two shows. One show was when I was talking about why is the black diaspora scared to build by itself? It was that one, and the other one was what was the other one? And white supremacists using white face desperate tactics. And I think I meant to say blackface. Let me see. I think it was blackface tactics. Yeah. Like, and this is why I was telling motherfuckers off the rip, yo, mind your business. Tell these niggas they want to debate. Get the fuck out of here. This is a place of fucking business. We shouldn't have to be dealing with how y'all feel and what y'all think about the black community. We don't give a fuck what y'all niggas think about the black community, personally. Because it's going to be negative anyways. I'm going to be personally honest. It's going to be fucking negative. Why the fuck do we care? All that. And the thing about it, I always tell people this. I don't even think we were complaining. I think it was the immigrants complaining because at the end of the day, they never been in this situation. They're not having a black experience. And shout out to Dave Anderson. I get it now. These immigrants, these Caribbeans, these Africans don't have black experiences. They have immigrant experiences. They have immigrant experience. They don't have black experience. We all have different ways of living. The way how we live over here in America, you're still gonna keep your cultural way of living over here. You're not gonna have a black experience. I understand why he said like, yo, these people don't have black experiences. They have Caribbean experience. They have African experience. They have immigrant experiences. Cause a nigga pull you over, don't mean like, oh well, you know what? Yeah, that's the black experience. Yeah, nigga, they're gonna check who I am, but they're gonna check who you are and what your background is. Where in Africa you from? Oh, you're Middle East? Okay, you Middle Eastern? Okay. I don't get that type of treatment. They're into the extortions and stuff like that. Black Americans are not used to being extorted. We'll shoot y'all niggas before we get extorted. That's more of a white supremacist thing. You go into an area, a white area, oh yeah, we want 20%. Nah, nigga, 20% of what? What are you giving? What are you offering? Those are the questions that we be asking. Those are the things that we say. Then when we kick in niggas' backs, niggas is mad at us. When a nigga defend ourselves, they're mad at us. The fuck you mad for? We're defending ourselves. Oh, they say we eat dirt cookies. Nigga, you do eat dirt cookies. The fuck? Nigga, what's that in your back pocket? Those are dirt cookies, nigga. Niggas get mad because black people are stating the obvious. Even with the white supremacy, we state the obvious. Y'all niggas is racist. We accept that y'all niggas is racist. But we're not going to accept. One thing we're not going to accept is an immigrant saying foul shit to us and try to cosplay of being us talking about we. We already deal with our coons doing that stupid shit. You think we're going to deal with y'all niggas doing that same dumb shit? Nah, absolutely not. This is when the party gets shut down. This is when people have these type of problems. This is the time. This is why people people. This is when cultures collides. That immigrant culture and the Black American culture collides, and it doesn't. It just doesn't fit well. That's why, let me tell you something. This is why I be happy when these Africans go live with these white supremacists. Yeah, go live with them. We don't need you over here. We don't need y'all over here fucking our shit up. If you want to go live with, in Pleasantville, go on. By all means, go live in Pleasantville. But don't try to talk for us. Don't try to say we have the same experience. No, absolutely not. I don't know how it feels to live in a fucking mud hut. I have lived. I have my family had a farm, yes, but a mud hut, no. These niggas can't tell us anything. Don't let these niggas talk for you. Don't even. You tell these niggas off the rip. Y'all niggas is unqualified to talk about my problems. Hold on 1 second. Who the fuck's birthday is it? Hold on 1 second, everybody. I'm sorry. But yeah, can I call in? Yeah, you could call in. Give me a second. Let me just open up the floodgates. All right, go on. You can call. And everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment in the live chat. And also, um, if you want to donate, give me a second, everyone. Yo, why aren't you coming up? Hey, call again. It didn't go through. Yeah, it didn't go through. Hold on 1 second. Let me call and see if it works. Yeah, it didn't go through. Give me 1 second. Okay, it went through.
Call from
FBA combo.
two.
Good morning, Convo. How's everything?
What up, Reaper? How's it playing? How's it hanging today?
It's good. It's good. It's good. Just listening to y'all. Listening to y'all in your live chat for right now. Yeah, I've been up since what? I didn't go to bed until like 3:30, 4, and I had to wake up at like
4 in the morning?
6. Huh?
4 in the morning, then 6 in the morning. That's only 2 hours of sleep. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I
I'm thick.
know. Stuff I have to do, man.
Yeah, man.
It
Yeah,
comes
if
with
you can do it,
business.
then do it.
Yeah, man, it comes with business, man. I sleep when I'm dead, so
That's true. That's true, too.
yeah, it's just I gotta take care of myself. That's the only thing. That's the only thing that I do keep up with is me taking care of myself. That's why if you ever see me popping vitamins, those are all my like multivitamins.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna need to start taking multivitamins too, man. Like I said, I mean, I'll be having little back problems and stuff that come on with being, 50. But
Mm.
I'm still young, and I'm still healthy and stuff. But I still want to go ahead and just kind of watch over my health because I am getting older, and I'll be seeing other people getting older, and they be limping around and
I'm gonna
hunched
tell you.
over.
I'm gonna
I don't
tell
want
you
to
a
be like that.
secret to that. Yoga. Yoga.
Oh yeah,
Yoga stretches out your joints and stuff.
you know what I like, Reaper, man? That I had to pay. I had to pay an app to do that shit, $50. But it's teaching me how to do all the moves in Tai Chi, bro.
Yeah, I'm
It's
gonna
it's
show you. I'm
it's
gonna show you
good.
another thing too. Hold on, give me a second.
hmm Yeah, I'm out here doing my little Tai Chi moves and shit. You might see me at the park one day, like, oh man, who is this black dude out here with the karate gear on, talking about some Tai Chi, man? Damn. I'm like, hey man, you
Also,
come learn for free, bro. I don't give a hell. I ain't even like that.
get one of
But it
these.
cost me $50 to learn though.
Get one of these.
Just yeah. Oh, I can't watch the video. I'm just on the
Oh,
phone today.
it's a massage gun. It's a massage gun. Get
Mm.
one of these. Ever have a
Oh yeah.
problem? It pops out. Pat, 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 pat. Yeah, one of these.
Mm.
So if y'all ever have back problems, any type of leg problem, joint problems,
Yeah.
hit that joint for like 5 minutes. It works,
Hey.
but I would tell you to do it. Cause me, I do it cause I'm always getting slammed. I get suplex and shit like that. I don't mind it.
Man.
It's just sometimes it hurts after, and that's when the adrenaline is over. When I pop that pap pap
Hell
pap
yeah.
pap, I'm back in the game.
I
You
like
know.
that, man. That's cool, man. That's cool.
So yeah, definitely
Yeah,
try
everything's
Valiant
good, man.
Yoga. Just so
We
you
over here
don't
just
pull
chilling in the
anything. Oh,
yeah,
go.
we just over here chilling on the FBA business, you know what I'm saying? And I just be wondering why the hell they still here? Why are these Pan Africans still here talking about Pan Africanism and all that stuff? They realize it's over with that. That the only people that was in Pan Africanism was FBAs. So
Mm-hmm.
when all the FBA leave, then who's left? A bunch of immigrants and people like
Oh,
Shabaka,
old
and
heads. You
and
got the
these people.
old heads
Yeah,
too that don't want to give it up. Man, let me tell you one thing I
yep.
see at the reparation task force sometimes, and it
Mm,
irks me because at the end of the day, I know they're getting taken advantage of. It's those type of old school women that be like, oh yo, why can't we have the Pan African flags and stuff like that? They're black too, and we're saying, and the thing we tell them why, and they still don't get it. Well, my father went to Ghana and saw his roots and all this other stupid, goofy shit, not knowing that these motherfuckers is getting scammed, and if he builds something in that country, he can't keep it. He's just written off the
mm,
land. Like
yep.
it's stupid, man. Like you
Yep,
say,
you
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 make
take
it.
your ass back over to Africa trying to buy some land. You got to go through some people, and they really not trying to give it to you, even though you got the same skin color. See, that's what I'm saying. They look like us, but they not us, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So we gonna have to know that we gonna have to take care of ourselves. If people over here in America gotta understand that FBA is not a cult, and we ain't doing shit. Like my father, he really ain't down with FBA. He from the old school. And I told him the other day, I said, Daddy, they ain't even worried about you. You in your 60s. And
Mm-hmm.
they said you failed. I'm in
Mm-hmm.
my 50s. They said I failed. So if anybody that's running FBA today, it's gonna be 30-year-olds. And guess what? Ain't nobody telling these boys to go pick up no guns. We already know we outgunned. We going to beat them with what we beating them with right now, which is the motherfucking internet. See, the pen is mightier than the sword. Okay, so that's how we getting them. All we gotta do is talk our shit. That's it. That's it.
There's more, but that is the start. What you're saying, that is the start. There will be more that we will have to do. And the thing about it, yeah, we're talking about at the end of the day, we're executing shit in the politics and stuff like that. Now,
I like
the
to
thing
have
about
that
it
too.
now, we're just looking for that right politician.
Yep.
But as I said,
now I'm saying like this boy
is
probably
gonna
like,
cost, huh?
Go ahead.
But the thing about it,
That
like
boy,
I said,
hold on. Go ahead.
Oh, what I'm gonna say, I think it's gonna cost something. Ain't nothing done for free. If you want something like in my podcast yesterday, I was talking about mistress and side chicks.
Yep,
That shit,
I like
if
that.
if you want a good side chick, it's gonna cost money. It's gonna cost money. That's why there's such thing as hush money.
I remember when I was back in the day when I was a kid and stuff, when I had the looks and I ain't have to pay. And I was talking to one of my friends. I was like, dog, man, it don't cost nothing to get these chicks to get in the bed. He was like, it always costs something. I say, what you know about that? He said, dog, didn't you take it to the movies? Then you go over there and buy her something, candy or something, take it to the store. You spent something. I don't care how much or how little, but you spent something to be with this girl. You know what I'm saying? Like the girl I got now, she her hand is just out. She older than me, so I'm 50, she's 57, and I keep telling myself to go ahead and leave this girl because all she do is got her hand out. She be calling, she's like, Kev, throw me 50, Kev, could you help me out on certain things? But Kev ain't got no, cookies or cakes or nothing. So I've been at it, I ain't no, whorish type of dude. I've been chilling with her, trying to see what's up, trying to let her get comfortable. But we 3 years in now, Roshan. Hey, bro, I'm about to be out, man.
Okay.
And I should have been in there. I should have been in that conversation with y'all yesterday. Y'all talking about women, because that's my woman problems. You know what I'm saying? When you over here dating at 50 or whatever, these chicks already had a full life, just like I did.
Yeah, but
I had
also
a full
too, you
life.
gotta look at it. The game hasn't really changed. It's just got fears. And when I mean fears, and I gave the example because somebody said passport, bro. I think it was Ping. I said Ping.
Ping was calling you a passport, bro, last night.
Yeah, the passport bros, they fucked up the game. They fucked up the way of the land. They fucked up the laws of the lands. Those women that were staying in, those women that are in Thailand and stuff and the Philippines, niggas was fucking. These niggas all of a sudden just marry these women that they've been fucking and sucking, been in gangbangs and orgies and shit like that. They're marrying these women now. You just gave these women hope and chance of saying that, like, yo, you know what? I can get me one of these good dumb niggas.
Yep.
And the thing about, you gotta look at it, the people who got these women, the people who are marrying these women are losers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She ain't never been married, and I don't think she's gonna think I'm gonna get married because I already been through that. And I'm trying to get the money that from my marriage, okay? I'm not trying to go ahead and get married again. If you get married again, they say that I can't get none of that money, and I ain't trying to get married again. So I'm just like this. If I'm 50 years old and you 57, you need to understand certain things about what we can do and what we can't do. You know what I'm saying? You got kids, I got kids. Shit, what? You already got a life. You got a house. I got a house and a life. It is what it is. Let's bring this together. But she be really on that business stuff because, like I said, she worked for herself. She got a business. Okay. And I try to stay out as much as I possibly can. Matter of fact, I help her with all I can. Yeah. But the other day when I went over there, she was just kind of too long with that shit. I understand. So I'm over here on the couch watching whatever she want to watch. She watching that girl shit. She ain't watching the football game. She watching this whatever we was watching, the Housewives of Atlanta and shit. Yeah. She over on the computer and shit. I guess, I don't know, maybe too long for me because that's when I felt like I need to get out. Yeah. That's when I was like, I need to get out, bro. Yeah. Man, I appreciate y'all kicking it, man. I got to go back to the job, man. Right, hey, I'll kick it with you again soon. Right, I'll kick it with you real soon.
I'm going to try to do a show today, but it depends, man. I'll try. I'll tell you that I'll try, all right? So...
Yeah, do your thing, and hey, don't rush it. I know you're gonna put me on that show one day. We can talk about these relationships with these older women, something that you don't know nothing about. Maybe I can go ahead and
Oh,
enlighten y'all
all
on
I
what these
date is
chicks
older
on.
women. I was dating
Yeah. Oh, so you do know what I'm talking about then.
yeah, I always date older women.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
youngest
yeah,
one is
Reaper
probably
man,
my
that's
baby
cool.
mother, and my baby mother is 1 year older than me. I usually date women
Oh well,
14,
yeah, I'm
21
50 and
years
she's
old.
57, so that's 7 years older than me.
Yeah,
When I was 9 years old, she was 16.
yeah.
When I was nine, and when I was 9 years old, all the 16-year-old girls looked so grown and big and beautiful and voluptuous.
Hmm.
I was like, damn, they won't talk to me because I was only 9. All
Yeah.
right, man, I'm out.
All right, my
All right,
man.
I'll talk to y'all soon.
All
Peace,
right,
peace.
all right, easy. That was the FBA convo. Salute, salute. Um, but he's right, man. It's just like, yo, we got to stay on that game plan. But at the end of the day, sooner or later, it's gonna cost a price. Everybody, it's gonna cost a price. Look at the LGBTQIA. They got a community out of it. You don't think they're paying the Democrats? You don't think Democrats is funding their agenda in their fight? There's a reason why. There's a reason why they're in those conversations, those doors. For the last, was it 4 to 8? No, for the last 8 years, this is what we've been hearing. We've been hearing about the pronouns, and the thing about it, you're asking, and I'm gonna tell this: the LGBTQIA have did a disservice to the old heads. I'm gonna say that, even to myself, I didn't know nothing about a fucking pronoun. You know, only thing we knew about is in school. You're telling a nigga who been out of school for probably over 25 years that, oh yeah, you need to know your pronouns. Then you're adding in stuff. A person's already having a hard time with life, going through what they're going through, trying to maintain, and you're jeopardizing these fucking people's job to understand. Let me tell you something, and I'm gonna talk to the LGBT and these Democrats. Y'all have a problem with people mispronouncing your pronouns, but you have a problem, but we have no, y'all have a problem with us calling ourselves foundational black Americans. Not understanding that it's not no fucking cult. It's not no fucking group. It's a culture. It's a lineage. You can't even accept that, but you want a black American to accept your fucking pronouns. I have to say that. It's never fun when the rabbit has the gun. It's not fun anymore. This is the type of shit that we're talking about. Like, again, I do have a problem with that. That's a big problem. That is a big problem. All of a sudden, a person mispronounce your pronouns. Niggas losing his job. Niggas losing his fucking livelihood. But y'all have a problem with black Americans calling themselves foundational black Americans. You have a problem with black Americans delineating. You have a problem with a black person saying that they're not voting for Democrats. Don't worry. Republicans is doing foul shit like that too, but you know what? We've been voting for you, your punk ass, for almost 90 years. And we haven't got nothing from y'all niggas. Y'all actually hurt us more than y'all helped us. Let's personally be honest about it. So again, we got to talk about it. How is that helping us? How is that helping us if If we have, let me tell you something. If the black diaspora had unity with foundational Black America, how does that help us? We don't benefit off of it. It benefits your country. It benefits your agenda, your rights. We're not Africans. We're not these generic Africans that you want us to be. Again, when we ask you where are we from in your country, oh, I think you're from Igbo, Yoruba. You think, nigga? I know I'm from America. I know my family been here for a very long time. And you can't even accept that. Shout out to Breeze Omega. Salute, salute. That's a dope name. I like Breeze Omega. That's a dope ass name. Yeah, we don't benefit at all. It just, I'm gonna say this because within the next 15 minutes I'm gonna start the video. When we ask for dual citizenship, when we ask for land in their country, they can't even give it to us, but they'll give the Chinaman land, they'll give the Indian man land, they'll give the white man resources. But they want us to fight for them, and they don't want to give us no resources. They want us to build Africa and leave America and not give us anything. They don't even want to give us dual citizenship. Why the fuck we want to leave Africa? Why would we want to leave America for Africa? Y'all can't even build toilets. Y'all niggas can't even keep y'all ocean, y'all rivers clean. Y'all niggas ain't even growing anything. Y'all niggas can't even help each other. That's why sometimes I get why niggas just build themselves a house and call it the day. I'm not saying it's right, but I understand why they do it. Why the fuck help y'all ungrateful motherfuckers? And I'm talking to y'all as a collective, not as a country. I'm talking to y'all as a fucking continent. If your next door neighbor from another country is having a problem, they're having genocide, and you don't go help, and you just go on with your normal day because it's not happening to y'all. Y'all no good motherfuckers. Y'all some rotten motherfuckers. Y'all some rotten motherfuckers. And I would never want to be in a coalition with y'all and y'all let shit like that happen. Sudan should not be having to ask America for fucking help and fucking have the army come over there and stop that fucking genocide that's happening. All that bullshit that happened in Nigeria, Ghana, Benin, and Togo should have never let that shit happen, even though Nigerians sold niggas out. Even though Nigerians sold niggas out, if y'all niggas talking about y'all brothers and all this other shit, that shit should have never went on with the Christians and the Muslims in that country. But you come to America, what's this FBA? It's a cult. This is why I say y'all niggas is not qualified to ask me no fucking question. At my job, I tell them niggas, yo, you're not qualified to ask me these questions or even give me fucking advice. Don't ask why. Don't ask why. It is so bad right now. The mayor of fucking New York is an Indian man that says he's Ugandan. He's a real Ugandan. He has his white voice and he has his African voice. His African voice sounds like he's from South Africa. I have heard people from Uganda. Ugandan has, I will say, somewhat of a British accent, but They're cool, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't tell them to come to America. I would tell them like, yo, you need to fight. Fight for everything that's in your country. What's going on, Frank White? Salute to FBA. Like, yeah, facts. Franklin White, thank you. Salute to the lineage, definitely. You know? And I'm gonna say this too. Again, like I said, sooner or later, we're gonna have to get into these politics. And I'm not talking about voting and all this other stuff. I'm talking about like, yo, we might have to pay politicians to talk for us, to defend us, to fight for us. Let me ask y'all a question. If you notice, you could go anywhere in the world and there's a gay community. There's a gay community. And shout out to them because I think they paid people. Their vote was for sale. Their vote was for sale. Give me a second. What's up, Bruce? Thanks for coming. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, their vote was for sale. I believe that, and I'm telling you, I believe that shit is for sale. Yeah, we can keep on disrupting this stuff, disrupting, but at the end of the day, there's a price. If you want us to get into politics, if you want us to get bigger, this is what's happening. Let me ask y'all a question. I'm in Massachusetts. You think Michelle Wu and Ayanna Presley is not getting paid? There's allegations of Michelle Wu getting funded by the CCP. There are allegations. There are people that saying that like, yo, she's getting paid by the Chinese Communist Party. You don't think Ayanna Presley is getting paid by the certain Democrat shields to push a fucking narrative about immigrants and say one little thing a year about foundational Black Americans? You think it was a coincidence for her to talk about the HR 40? I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole today because there's a coincidence. Then she goes to Capitol Hill and they ask Michelle Wu how much money you have been giving into these migrants, how much resource money you've been giving to these migrants. This bitch says she don't know. They don't keep track of that. Nigga, are you crazy? And you just built almost a $500 million building in South Station. You built $100 million stadium and broke down the stadium that should have been a historical stadium for Boston. Y'all think that's a coincidence? No, that's not a coincidence. These people is getting paid off. They being paid off. And I know it's kind of fucked up to say that's the only way shit's gonna get actually. That's the only what people understand. People only understand fucking money. Niggas only understand money. Power and money. But what comes out that power? Money. There's something that they want from us. What do you want from us? Oh, we want the reparations tangibles in the. Okay, we're gonna get one for right now. All right, you get one for one. We're not gonna give you everything and you only do one thing. Then after that, you come back and say, "Well, I tried to do it." No. One for one. That's how we're gonna have to do stuff. They want our votes. Our votes is for sale. Democrats and Republicans. These Latinos are not playing the same game as us. These Africans are not playing the same game as us. That's why the Latino community, these Mexican communities is going through what they're going through because they're not playing the same game. They're the Africans and Latinos are looking and Caribbeans are looking for acceptance by the white man. We don't give a fuck about white people, personally. It's just it is what it is. We don't give a fuck. But like I said again, we're not playing in the same game as these people. They want a coalition, but they're not playing. They're playing Chinese checkers with white supremacy. We're not playing chess. We're not playing Chinese checkers. This is why I'm telling you. This is why I told people in the beginning of the year, this is gonna be a crazy year. Niggas is gonna start crashing out. This is the era of crash outs. Look at all these white supremacists complaining about black people, and black people ain't even doing anything. Black people is working, dancing, having a good old fucking time. Yeah, you got people who doing nigga shit. Yes, you got a few, 3-4% of niggas doing nigga shit. And most of those people, and the reason why I didn't say 10% is because most of those motherfuckers who are doing shit is fucking Caribbean or Africans. As an example, I give all the time. If we didn't ask who this nigga was in Pennsylvania who threw the jizz on the white woman, we would be thinking that it was black people, hypersexual. They will be saying that right now. Black people are hypersexual. We got black people throwing jizz on the people, and the guy's name is Mbutu. Like, come on. They don't want us to ask those questions because at the end of the day, they just want to, now all of a sudden we're all black. They don't want these questions now because they're going to know that they're doing all the crime. These Caribbean people are doing all the crime. Look at what's going on in England right now. You got them immigrants that are trying to live, find a job and stuff like that. But then you got the fucked up people. There's no hierarchy in the UK when it comes to them immigrants. We have hierarchy here. This is why you have people on YouTube. This is why, let me tell you something. Podcasting is just another form from hip hop. Hip hop was only supposed to be like journalism and telling the news of what's going on in these streets. This is another form of hip hop. It has to be. We're figuring it out. Like, let me ask y'all a question. I think we would have been 10 steps backwards if there was no such thing as podcasting or no Tariq Nasheed or no Alpha or no FBA person saying what's going on. What the fuck is happening? What's going on? Where are these people from? Salute Indigenous. Thank you for the subscribe. But yeah, this is the type of stuff that's going on. And let me tell you something. Some of y'all might not like Tariq, but Tariq Nasheed have done a lot for y'all. He put them documentaries out for you. He didn't have to. He used donation money. He used his own money, and he said he used more money than he got from donations. And y'all still not satisfied. Y'all still against him. Why the fuck? This is why I'm trying to tell y'all. Why do we need to be on your side if y'all not even satisfied with what people do for y'all? Why? Why are you mad that a black man and woman is dancing, having a good old time, and just watching y'all niggas crash out, watching y'all niggas get deported? And when some shit happened to us, y'all was watching us, calling us lazy, calling us baby mothers and killers and drug dealers. Y'all was calling us every name in the book. Now all of a sudden, y'all got yourself into a situation. We find out that y'all was in cahoots, double agent it for the white supremacists. And the thing about it, you wasn't y'all was doing deals with not even the hierarchy of white supremacists. You're doing it with the fucking losers. You're doing it with the fucking losers. The niggas who got beat up at school, the ones that wasn't getting bitches, the ones that wasn't the coolest in the book, the ones who always had the bummy clothes, always got picked on. Those are the niggas who you doing it with. The black man that stole that white man's girlfriend. That's who you doing it to. I have an issue with that. Again, I have an issue with that. Let me tell you something. And I'm gonna tell you when this point came with me, and we're gonna start these videos. This point came with me when I was tired of defending Africans. I was tired of defending Caribbeans, saying that we are all one. We all need to stick together. I was on the Pan African boat. I was drinking the Pan African Kool-Aid. But at the end of the day, I'm seeing that we're not progressing. We can do all these slave movies, all this other shit, but we're not progressing. They're not telling the real story. They're not telling the real story. What's going on? Is that Dorsey? Oh, I think that's Dorsey. Shout out to Dorsey. Who made you do? Who made you go? Who made you go? No, that's not Dorsey. But hey, shout out to who made you God. Not me. Shout out to you. I thought that was Dorsey. Yeah, it's just you never been a. Let me tell you something, Kwame. I was drinking the Pan African juice, my nigga. You might can find internet pictures of me having a fucking dashiki on. I was pushing it. I was pushing the yo. Let's form like Voltron, my nigga. I was on that type of shit. Oh, okay, Dorsey, that is you. Salute. I was pushing it, man, and something didn't feel right. Something didn't feel right. It's just like, and I'm being personally honest with you, Kwame. It didn't benefit my people. My father had a Pan-African flag and didn't even know what a fucking Pan-African is. My father had a Pan-African flag and Africans didn't like my father. My dad's pushing the red, black, and green and Caribbeans is talking shit about my father. What type of solidarity is that? There is no solidarity. My dad always talked about, oh yeah, we all black. My father had a rude awakening when he started dealing with these Africans. My dad's asking me questions, yo, why these Africans don't like me? We're all the same people. Dad, I'm going to tell you one thing. I was like, this is the best advice I can tell you, Dad. Stay away from these fucking Africans. I had to tell my father that. Stay away from these fucking Africans. Oh shit! Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Kwame, he did send in a donation that day too. I totally forgot. Shout out to Dorsey. Thanks for letting me know. I remember that. Yo, Kwame ain't sending it. But yeah, it's stay away from him, man. It's a cultural differences. This is why I was yelling. We have black experiences. They have immigrant experience. Let me tell you something. I really do believe that now. We don't all have the same experience at all. We don't. We don't. Nations and the blacks in America reaps things and times, and times are changing as Africans and others reclaim their land. And that Shabaka, it's a rap. In Africa, it's a rap. The only way I'm gonna tell you this, the only way Africans is really gonna reclaim their land is if Babylon happens again. Once Revelations happens, that's when you're gonna reclaim your land. But you don't believe in that type of shit. You're not getting your land back. No, my father was promoting that shit. My dad was doing the black love stuff. It just doesn't work, Shabaka. I'm just being personally honest. The shit doesn't work. It doesn't benefit black Americans. And it sucks to say it, because at the end of the day, like, yo, I was hard body in it. I was actually trying to put my people together. I was trying to figure out, yo, how can we all come together? I was trying to learn different language so we could break the culture barrier ground. It just doesn't work, Shabaka. We're just two different, yo, we're two different cultures. One culture has multiple cultures in it. Some of their cultures is mixed and mingle. These countries is fairly new. I'm just being personally honest. It just doesn't work, Shabaka. I'm not trying to tell you to leave Pan Africanism, but for an average black American, no, it doesn't work. We don't benefit off of it. We don't have the same type of problems that they have in these Caribbeans and African countries. Let alone in these Latino countries, and see what these Afro Latinas is going through. And these Afro Latinos are going through. Let me ask you a question, Shabaka. Where are y'all Pan Africans in these Latino countries? There's a situation going on in these Afro Latino communities, in Afro Latino communities. I have never hear you talk about that. As many times we talk about the Latino community, we never hear you talk about that. Those people are black too, as you say, or African, as you say. We know those people are African. But we don't hear you talk about that, because you know why? Because it doesn't benefit you. It doesn't benefit Africa. I'm just being personally honest, Shabaki. You have never talked about it. I have talked about Afro Latina and Afro Latino communities. I encourage, I empower Afro Latino communities. I do that. I do that more than you do, Shabaka. And the reason why I do that, I'm gonna tell you the reason why I do that, and I empower those people, because at the end of the day, they're going through a form of white supremacy. They're going through a form of white supremacy right now. They're being excluded from things. I was watching a thing on O'Shea Duke Jackson, where these Dominicans got mad at this Afro Latina saying that she's Haitian. Talk about she shouldn't be running for Dominican Republic. She was born and raised and is Dominican. She's going through that colorism problem. Where the fuck was there as a Pan-African? Why didn't the Pan-Africans defend that woman? I didn't see no African flags. I didn't see no Africans say anything. I didn't see no Pan-African movement. I haven't seen no African movement say anything. And y'all don't claim O'Shea Duke Jackson because y'all feel a certain way what he said about Pan-Africanism. He says he's a Pan-African, but y'all don't claim him. He said this is what goes on in these Latino countries. We're Afro-Latinas. We haven't heard from the Pan-African community. Y'all don't help nobody. Y'all help yourselves. If you can't benefit off of it, we don't see you. I'm just being personally honest, Shabaka. It just doesn't benefit you. No Africans are seeking education to be a shopper. Was it shopper blade for white supremacy? Facts. Kwame explains Sun City. Sun City was built so that blacks from England could be treated with respect. Mm. We are full support of all progressive revolutionary movements. Again, where was the African liberation? Because you're not Black Liberation Army, you're African Liberation Army. Where were they in Dominican Republic? There is an African community in Dominican Republic, right? There is an African community in Puerto Rico, right? Mexico, right? Colombia, right? Where the fuck are y'all there? Why are they fighting their own battle by themselves? They are the minority in those countries. They're not looked at as a first class citizen. Facts. Shabaka. But at the end of the day, it would be supported. But first of all, you have all these Pan African podcasts. They didn't put it out. Only O'Shea Du Jackson put it out. And I'm talking about it. I think it's very important that we need to know about this. That's why. This is why 6 months ago I asked y'all a question, and we might do it tomorrow. Should Afro Latinas have a solidarity with foundational Black Americans? They're going through the same thing that we're going through in that country, and probably most of those people are probably fucking indigenous. They're probably the real indigenous of that fucking land. Let's not get that fucked up. Those people are probably the real indigenous people of those lands that everybody else is on. There's a small majority of them. They all look different. They all got the same, somewhat type of hair that we have. I can actually say that. They have different pheno figures that you can tell, like, nah, these niggas can't be from fucking Africa. They look too different. Africa was the future. They was the future. They're not the future or anything. They're the future of fucking Babylon and anarchy. That's it. That is the home of the Four Horsemen. Thank you. And we in America still supporting this motherfucker Nelson Mandela. And he didn't do shit for people in America. He fought his own fight. He think we're supposed to be inspired. Nigga, you needed help from Black Americans. You needed help from our fucking leaders, our activists, our celebrities. And y'all the majority. But let's start this show. Thank y'all for being on this show. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And hit the like button. I need more likes. Definitely. Thank you. I appreciate it. Salute DSA. Salute report in chats. Can't unite with folks if they don't want it or acknowledge us. Facts. You're right about that, DJS1. It's just, you gotta understand people. You gotta also understand people are tired of the same bullshit. We're tired of the same results. We're gonna get the same results if we had solidarity with y'all. We've been trying to give y'all solidarity for the last 50 years. for the last 50 years. Now all of a sudden that y'all need help, y'all talking about solidarity, nigga. We've been talking about that shit since fucking Pan African era. See, that's why I say, yo, y'all don't claim him. This is why I say O'Shea put that information out. O'Shea's in Uganda. He's more Pan-African than all y'all niggas in America. That nigga actually lives in Africa. Africa went from starvation, AIDS, genocidal, tribal wars, to child slavery, child warriors, and now Chinese occupations. Facts. I believe that. There's no progress. Let me tell you something. As I said in the beginning, Africa should not be looking like what it looks like. They had a damn near 5,000 year head start than most of these motherfucking countries that were put together. And it looks like this. If they don't want solidarity, lead them to their demise. We got no friends. Facts. You're right. We're going to watch this video. And I'm talking about the solidarity even with these certain Latinos too. This is why I said Afro-Latinos is going through the same shit that we're going through in America with regular Latinos. They're getting treated like second-class citizens. That's why I said what I said 6 months ago. And I don't know if it struck a nerve when I said it, but they understand a little bit more. And shout out to the black Cuban dude who always said he never said that he was Cuban. He always said that he was black. When they asked him where he was born at, he said, I was born in Cuba. They was like, that's not black. He's like, yo, no, only thing I know is the black experience. He said, I don't know a Caribbean experience because at the end of the day, I was always told that I was black. When I went back to Cuba, he said, they told me I was black. They didn't tell me I was Cuban. So he said he always thought he was black. I get those type of situations. He don't know Cuban culture. He don't even know how to speak fucking Spanish. You know? I'm tired. I'm gonna be personally honest, Shabak. I'm tired of hearing about Pan-Africanism. It's a failed group. It's a failed organization. It sells wolf tickets. Your whole movement is no better than Dr. Umar scamming. You know, I'm just gonna be personally honest.
Hey, thanks for tuning in to the Unapologetic Truth. Remember that the Discord is up.
I'll be back.
I implore you to go to it, follow it. That's where I post the content that I cannot show on YouTube, where we have to have discussions. We could talk to each other. You can post jobs that maybe you have or somebody else may have, or business opportunities. You can put it right there. All right, so don't forget, the Discord is finally up. You can go to the last post that I made and basically click on that and take you straight to the Discord. If you don't know how to use a Discord or never heard of a Discord, just let me know. Just message me and I'll explain it and I'll get you set up so that you can join the community on Discord. All right, without further ado, here's our video for today.
Anti-black racism has to be addressed because it's systematic. It is not equal. We don't have anti-brown racism. That's systematic. That's why some of these people like to point to a couple of random incidents of a black person harming a vendor. That's not systematic. Most of black society, we don't co-sign you harming some innocent vendor. In fact, when those dudes down in the hood harm these Mexican vendors, most of the time they get disciplined by their own hood. They get DP because nobody co-signs them. That's cowardly. But when something is happening to black folks like Zimmerman, like Officer Yanez who killed Orlando Castile, we don't hear anything from these Hispanic organizations saying, hey, that's not right. So what's going on with that? If we're going to have a real black and brown coalition, y'all better call out the damn Zimmermans. Call out the Officer Yanez. Out here in LA, there was a story in the LA Times last week talking about how there's so much systematic racism against black people in the workforce out here in LA with Latino supervisors. There's a real big thing where there's lawsuits all over the place where these Latino supervisors and people at these employment places are discriminating against black people left and right out here. So address that. and then we can have a real conversation.
See, like with Nick, it's kind of crazy, right? Because he's kind of like the one argument for deplatforming, right? Because
and by the way, what's his last name? Wayne says he's a white Hispanic. You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, he's Hispanic. So is that our black and brown? Is that the black and brown coalition? You see?
Yeah, yo, because he did say he was like Mexican. Like,
yeah, he's Hispanic. That's why he's in the swing fest. A lot of the dudes in the alt-right are Hispanic. A lot of the Enrique Terrio, the dude with the Proud Boys, dark-skinned Cuban. Wow. You think? A lot of these dudes with the Proud Boys are white Hispanic dudes who have these vile views about black people. It's crazy.
Man.
So where's the black and brown coalition? You see, that has to be addressed.
A conversation needs to be had about immigration that I think many people are afraid to have, but I'm not, because I do not buy this black and brown coalition. Okay, I don't buy it. I think it's a house of cards.
What are you talking about? Go ahead. Let's hear it.
First of all, I don't think black people and brown people have this natural allyship that many black organizations like to pretend that we do, right? And so the phrase black and brown is used all the time. Oh, black and brown people, black and brown policy. We need to protect black. When did those people become our natural allies? And said who? Did we vote for this? Did black people get together and vote to have the black and brown coalition? I don't think so. So I'm asking us to really sit and think about, okay, what is our stance on immigration? Because I think we have been told what our thoughts on immigration should be, but that is different than us having a conversation about, okay, what is in the best interest of African Americans, and then making a decision on what our political stance on immigration should be.
Happen and you guys black and brown unite. There's no uniting us because we told you guys exactly what was going to happen and you guys still voted for that man, and now you guys are trying to use us. It's not uniting. You guys are trying to use us because you've seen how powerful our movements have been in the past, and you guys are like, oh yo, you know what, let's get up with them. Let's get up with the same people we voted against. Instead of talking to our tios and tias and abuelas and abuelitos, you guys said, we're just gonna let Trump get in office. And then we're gonna call in the black people, the black Avengers. Yes. Wrong, incorrect, no. What you guys are gonna do, you guys are gonna keep doing what y'all are doing. I'm seeing y'all in LA, congratulations. Keep doing y'all big one and figure it out. I don't know.
This man breaks down why there would never be black and brown unity. Check it out.
It is impossible for us to come together with black people because we are inherently and culturally racist. Our culture is very anti-black. Meanwhile, we out here marching with signs that say brown and black unity. The truth is that in our household, we tell our sisters, we tell our daughters not to date y'all, to stay away from y'all. And if we find out one of our aunties, one of our sisters, one of our daughters had a kid with one of you, we shame them. We even disown them. It's that we, as a people that have been anti-black for a couple of 100 years.
Oh, so everybody, I put out a poll like 5 seconds ago. Should FBA and Afro-Latino community have a solidarity? Yes or no? And I'll say this. Shout out to Ray Ray. Salute to Ray Ray. But I think I'm gonna do that question because I want to bring back a topic. I'm gonna do something that I never done before, I don't think, is bring back an old topic and see if we have a different result now after we see what's going on in these Afro-Latino communities and in the Black American communities.
Since colonialism, we can't possibly try.
And not the fake, the $5 Latino, not the $5 Afro-Latina. We're talking about real Afro-Latinas and real Afro-Latinos. Not the $5 ones like, what's her name? Like Cardi B. She's a $5 Afro-Latina. We're talking about a real Afro-Latina.
To convince black people about brown and black unity. We can't. It's impossible because we're still very anti-black.
I mean, I'm not surprised. You know who else they don't bring home? Afro-Mexicans, Afro-Latinos, anything black, they not bringing home. That's why you see these Afro-Latinos doing circus tricks and tap dancing to be accepted by these Latinos. I mean, the whole thing is Mijares La Raza. It's a white in the race. Where do you fall into that, right? Then you have blanco-mento, whitening, more whitening. The whole Latino culture is white-centered. So where do any blackness fall in under that, right? Even if you consider Afro-Latino, you really don't fall into that. So, I mean, we're not surprised, right? I just appreciate that he was being transparent.
We can throw them in there, but they're Portuguese. Brazilians are Portuguese, but we can throw them in there too, yes. Yeah, Brazilians are Portuguese. Um, Different culture, different backgrounds. Um, get treated the same in their country, So yeah.
And really broke it down because this is deeply rooted into centuries of ideology, right? You have people browner than black people, black Americans thinking that they're white. Like it's wild out here, right? And I just bring that up because how we view them and how they view themselves is through two totally different lenses. They see themselves as white, even the brown ones. So yeah, he broke it down, and I appreciate his transparency. The whole goal of Mihara La Raza is to lighten the race, to extract all the blackness from you, right? Anything that's not Euro features is primitive. So where do you, as a black or Afro-Latino fall into that? You don't.
Testimony before Congress from LA communities where black witnesses were going in saying, my kid applied to the local McDonald's, they wouldn't hire him because he didn't speak Spanish. It is mostly black communities that are being overwhelmed with illegal immigrants.
In a free market, of course, there will be competition for certain jobs, right? And so the most skilled worker is likely to get that position. Being bilingual is a skill. You're able to communicate. And I get it. If you're not bilingual, it makes you uncomfortable. You're not as competitive. But guess what? We live in a country where you have all the resources at your fingertips. You can learn a language for free online. And so enough with this victimhood.
I just finished watching a clip of Tyreek Nichols' podcast talking about how there is no black and brown coalition and talking about the racism amongst white Hispanics specifically, and talking about how in LA right now it's a bunch of lawsuits running rampant about these Latino supervisors discriminating against their black American employees. And I just want to say that not only is that not an LA thing, that's not even a California thing. That is an all over thing that are done by immigrants alike, but specifically with Hispanics. A couple of months ago, I was having a conversation with my ex who is an HVAC technician. And we was talking about this, and I was just like, man, everywhere you go, it's a bunch of Hispanics. And then you go inside these stores, and they don't speak no English. How the fuck they even hire them? Whoop, whoop, whoop. So he was telling me the week before he was doing a job for Chase Bank, he walks in, all the Hispanics there, nobody speaks any English. There's one black lady there, an older black lady. He says as he goes up, he's talking to her, showing her the work order and everything like that. He says before he goes outside to get his ladder, he asks her, like, how did you even get this job? Like, how do you work here like this? And she said that she had been there over 20 years, got passed up for a promotion from a Latino man. A Latino man became...
Oh, okay. I already answered that question. Yeah, but again, yeah, Brazilians, we could throw them in there too because they go through a colorism problem. I feel like I'm gonna give you the best advice ever. And this is for the Afro Latin community. The best thing you can do, you know how they say La Viva was the La Rasta or whatever? Strengthen the race or some shit like that. I think y'all should blacken your race. I'm going to be personally honest. As a foundational black American, you need a... Yeah, Shabaka is. He's going to keep on arguing with you and stuff. But yeah, I think you should darken your race. Y'all Latins, there's nothing wrong with y'all messing around with a foundational black American as long as you darken your race. I'm going to be personally honest. You should do it. They want to whiten their race, we're going to darken our race. When we have these type of family members, no, stay away from them. They have a colorism problem. Yeah. We need to do the opposite. We need to darken our race. And this is why I asked y'all the question. Now the question is, it's in the post. Should foundational black Americans have solidarity, or should, let me read it back, hold on, just so I can read it correctly. Should foundational Black Americans, FBAs, and Latino community have a solidarity? Should they have a solidarity? If I said it right. You know? Now, this is where it comes where they say they want to lighten the race. We need to darken the race. We need more melanin in our race. So, if they're going to be on the same boat as us, if they're going to fight for our culture, this is where we should have solidarity. There should be rules to this. There should be some type of... And if a Black American's going to have a treating, we should have a treating with the Afro-Latino community if we're going to have solidarity. There should be rules to this shit. They should be moving like we're moving. They should be moving like we're moving. They need to be on point while we're on point. If these motherfuckers is talking crazy about us, we should have the Afro-Latino in it. Yo, them niggas talking crazy about y'all. Calling you everything in the fucking book. We're all benefiting. We're all benefiting. Let me not get
the manager,
into it.
And he slowly but surely fired, because she said there was white Americans and Black Americans working there. Slowly fired them one by one. And now it's nothing but Hispanics, specifically white Hispanics. And this is also why I say the entire culture thing of POC and shit like that doesn't exist. Because a lot of them hide behind their white cosplay. A lot of these cop videos that you see, these are white passing Hispanics. You feel what I'm saying? And when I say that, people say I'm being hateful, but you can literally Google this cop. That's what I did. You feel what I'm saying?
All right, let's talk about it. The whole black and brown thing, right? Like, that's a fucking term that I'm like duly sick and tired of, right? Because one, Black people, Black Americans are brown and Hispanics are white, right? So I don't, you see what they do to like muddy they're always trying to muddy the waters and confuse the waters pertaining to race. Again, to hide the fact that Black Americans are the real Jews, indigenous American Indians from the same bloodline and tribe as Jesus Christ. Yes, I know I say this shit because it's the only thing on earth that matters. Yes, we're that important. Yes, we're the main characters, right? So we gotta stop saying black and brown, right? Because the so-called brown people, Hispanics, right? And I'm not saying all, right? Because I grew up in New York City. I've been around a lot of Hispanics, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm generally speaking as a whole, right? Not necessarily on an individual level, right? I've met some cool ass Hispanics, right? But as a whole, right? Generally, they chill, like, same with Afro-CAN, same with Middle East, same with Asians, same with, they're all Psalms 83 Hispanics, chose white TPPL a long time ago to go against Black Americans, right? And at the end of the day, that's what it is. And at the end of the day, they're only going to associate with us like the rest of the world when it's convenient and beneficial to them, or they need our energy. It really is that simple. We have got to stop, because what they do is sorcerer's programming, a spell word, right? They say these things and they reiterate them, and all you hear is black and brown, black and brown, black and brown, right? As if like we've been together. We've never been fucking together, ever, not one time. As a, like, obviously not everybody, but as a whole, they don't like us. Some of them probably hate us just as much as, if not more, than white TPPL, right? So they're always trying to mesh things together, because when you mesh things together, what the devil and his people do, white TPPL do, that causes confusion. So now you don't even realize you're brainwashing and saying, oh, black and brown community. Every time you're talking about something disproportionately, or there's some type of plight, black and brown, brown. There's no black and brown.
That's what I asked. Should the Afro-Latino community and Latino community delineate from each other? That was the question I asked last time, 6 months ago. Should they delineate from each other? Yes. They both have different cultures. We might talk about that shit tomorrow night, everyone.
Around because first of all, the sheer amount of businesses and loans that they give Hispanics, they would never ever give to Black Americans, the real Jews, indigenous Americans. They would never, ever. That was Hispanics' piece of the pie, slice of the pie, to go against us. The food trucks, all of the Mexican restaurants, the business loans, this, that, and the third, and yada 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 yada. Right? So please stop saying that. There is no black and brown. Them people have showed themselves. They show who their daddy is, like everybody else daddy is, right? And since the YT DOI's time is up, their time is up. This is why they're all falling. This is why they're all being removed from the lands. It's as simple as that, right? So yeah, there's no please. I hate that term. I hate that term just as much as I hate African American. We are not fucking. It's spell work. It's sorcery. We are not African. Okay? Okay, if you got Africans who were born in Africa, right, and came to America, yeah, they're African. You can say they're African American, but no, Black Americans, we're our own entity. Okay? We're our own entity, right? We're not them. They're not us. That's fine. It's no shade. It just is what it is. All right? So please drop two things. Drop that term. I would rather you say Black American, right? I'd rather you say that, right? Be specific with that. If you're not, even if you don't want to be like, okay, we're the real Hebrews, the real Jews, the real indigenous American Indians. Even if you don't want that, I would prefer you say Black Americans than say fucking African American, okay? When you're referring to Black Americans. Completely drop that term, African American, and stop saying Black and brown, okay? Just stop putting us together. We're not together. We never were together. They don't like us. 99% of them. Okay? All praise to the Most High.
So I really can't reach the men, but I'm talking to the Black women. There is no such thing as a Black and brown solidarity or coalition. It doesn't exist. And when I say brown, I mean the Latino and Hispanic communities. They do not align with Black Americans. They think that we're ugly. They think that we're nappy. They do blackface. They call us the N-word. They call each other the N-word, but they use the hard R when it comes to us. They refer to us as nappy, as monkeys. They do blackface. They do not align with our particular values. And also, they more so relate to their European lineage. So I know it's sad and disappointing because we ride for everybody, but they don't feel the same way about us. So I want us to be mindful of that. You just have to look out. We have to look out for ourselves. We don't really have anybody in our corner. Everybody wants to benefit off of Black culture, but nobody wants to be Black. Nobody wants to be Black. Nobody wants to, they don't really see white supremacy in the same way that we see it. So just moving forward, just keep that in mind, that nobody likes us. Nobody likes us. People may smile on your face, but when they're home,
something's been weighing on my mind a lot, and it's dealing with Black and Mexicans. The false delusional statements and clips that I hear about us being unified. Black and brown unity doesn't exist. I'm going to say it again. Black and brown unity doesn't exist. You show me where true Black and brown unity exists. And I'm not talking about y'all that are dating and messing around because that's sexual. I'm talking about real Black and brown unity. I hear Black people, before the ICE raids, Black people were always including Mexicans, Black and brown unity, Black and brown issues, Black and brown, but they rarely ever talked about you when it came to unity. They didn't even think about you. So, when the ICE raids happen, I see more, Black and brown together. That this is not the time. This wasn't the time to be unified. It was like years ago. You know what I mean? But the few that marched, the few that did something.
Remember, I said that. I said they had a chance to. The Africans had the chance to. The Caribbeans had the chance to. The Latinos had the chance to. They didn't want to. They didn't want to. Everybody wanted to be part of the white supremacy system. Everybody wanted to be part of the system because it wasn't. And I understand because that system wasn't as bad as. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying that it wasn't as bad as their country. That's why they can deal with that type of white supremacy.
You know, because you have friends that you grew up with or you work with and became friends. I don't know. That doesn't count. I'm saying the majority, you can't tell me there's unity. There's pockets of neighborhoods that, oh yeah, black and brown tolerate because they live in proximity to each other. You know, they have mutual respect, but they don't really hang together unless you are dating. So if a black man is dating a mother and now the child's are black and Mexican, whatever it is, of course, that's acceptance. But overall, where really is the black and brown unity? How do you show that you're unified? Because you kill each other. I couldn't believe when I came out to LA and when I was years ago dating someone, we were in Hollywood, and in July 4th holiday, I found out he told me that Mexicans do this thing where they were given the green light to either, you know, whatever, harass, shoot. I don't know, black people. What the heck is that? Why do y'all still say black and brown unity? What are you doing, black people? Why are you so delusional all the time? Somebody tell me why.
So I'm gonna answer that question. Because I have been the victim of that too. And when I say a victim, I have been a victim of, even though these niggas did something bad for me, I'll take the moral high ground. Black Americans have been taking the moral high ground ever since civil rights movement. Ever since the Pan-African movement, when they were like, oh, the Pan-African leaders will justify it or brush it off. They will brush it off. Now this shit has got bigger. This shit has gotten bigger. These people have created a monster where they can't control how we feel about what's going on. They can't say anything. It's a problem now. And I think, and I'm going to be personally honest, I don't think they can fix it. I don't think they can fix it. Yeah, there's going to be some people that fuck with us that are Caribbean and African and Latino. Yes, I do accept that. I do understand that. But morally, we're supposed to be checking everybody's temperature. And shout out to the OG from Detroit. He apologized to me, but he didn't have to apologize to me. He did what he was supposed to do as a foundational black American, and that's check my temperature. Check if I am a real foundational black American. Find out if I am or am not a tether. Yes, I'm talking good shit, but at the end of the day, am I for the people? Am I for foundational black Americans? If I am doing God's work? This is what's supposed to be happening. This is what we're supposed to be doing. This is how you know that niggas ain't infiltrating our movements, our culture, our lineage.
There is no black and brown unity. There are people and pockets of people that tolerate, they accept. But how do you call it unity? Do we do things really together? Do we come together for just causes? Ice Ray brought people saying, oh, black and brown, but they also brought Mexicans and them, yelling at black people and trying to force them to do something. Put them on the front lines. I don't understand that. That's not unity. Unity is not forced. So you tell me, and everyone will say, oh, well, there was a few of us that were supporting this, and even this is how I know a lot of you are not really unified with Black people, because some of you were on the clips talking about you're next. We've been first, second, third, fourth, and still exist in the lineup. That told me all I needed to know about your ignorance. So for those of you, yeah, we got to fix this. I would love for us to be unified, but first let's be real. Politicians will say Black and brown. They will do things for immigrants. They will do things for, Hispanics, the Latin community, but they would really shy away from saying specifically the Black community. And we need a politician that specifically says we want to help the Black community and not feel ashamed. And I always feel that people should know their politicians. Your local, forget the president. That's so far gone. But you got to have your city council, your city officials, your state, your mayors, before you even get to the president. You know what I'm saying? Your representatives. Because I just don't feel the unity, and I feel...
Also, everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe for the podcast. And also, share. If you don't, and if you want to donate to the podcast, I'll be putting the link up for Venmo, Super Chat, and Cash App as well. So definitely try to donate if you can. But if you can't, share so we can have more people come in here. But I know once this stuff starts going good, once my podcast starts going good, I would understand that like y'all can. But I know times is tough right now. But thank you for watching. I do appreciate that.
Sad about it that there's so much hate. But I feel even more sad that Black people are delusional about there being any unity amongst us. Like, I have friends of all backgrounds. That doesn't mean we're unified ethnically. You know what I mean? So it's just been on my mind, and I feel like we should start speaking truths. Stop hiding behind our wishes of, oh, let's be unified. Black people love to push that. I don't get it. Like, we need a real dose of reality.
Breeze Omega.
And I'm going to tell you one
It does create the term.
I went to this Trader Joe's I used to go to maybe 10 years ago. And it was the employees were Black, white, Jewish, everything of every faith, right? Now, and I went there, and whenever there's a Hispanic manager, then everything turns Hispanic. I'm just saying it and calling it as it is. I don't know why specifically. I have my ideas and my thoughts, but I'm just making a point. You start looking around, look at all those lawsuits that happen in those jobs with Black and Hispanics. You look it up. Of how they were treating Black workers, employees.
Facts.
And it's just time that Black people wake up. And then I also went to, my friend is a caregiver for a Jewish elderly man, and he, I went
we'll
to
do
their,
research on that
he
one day,
was sick, so they went to the rehab facility, and he's, they have a residential side, and they have, whatever. But anyway, we went up in there, and she said it has changed. There used to be Black women that worked there, Black, Hispanic.
I'll say this. Miss Phyllis, she looks geeky. I'm going to be personally honest. She looks geeky, or she looks, I don't want to say Creole. She looks geeky, or she looks like she's from like a part of the South. I don't know. Yeah. Or like native. Like she looks native. She looks native.
And why, whatever. And now it's 90% Hispanic. Why? And it's not our work ethic. It's a lie. because those same women got promoted, moved or got married or got pregnant, but there were people lined up to work, and one was waiting for a promotion, but yet now it's 90% Hispanic. So again, just check me. You'll find whenever there's a manager, someone in charge, they will hire themselves first. Black people, I was working with a company and they were like, oh, we need to have a couple, we can't have all of us. We got to have, a bit of white, a little bit of Hispanic, we got to sprinkle it up, a little Asian, we got to sprinkle, It's so funny how we do that. But watch, where there is a Mexican or Hispanic manager, there are Mexican workers. And maybe Trump is right on that. You know what I mean? Maybe we all joked about it and couldn't wait to put a post against him about, protecting our Hispanic, protecting our Mexicans. Are they really protecting you? Are they giving you work? I knew a friend who graduated nursing school and said all of the jobs are going to the Mexicans. It's crazy. Check me. Check the facts. Look around. Y'all got to start working together and stop worrying about unifying like fake unifying. Fact. If it ain't real, keep it moving. Get yourself and get your people together. And it's a serious thing. And again, I love all people, but my people, y'all gotta stop being delusional about this unity. It's not real. And I said, I have friends from all backgrounds, but so I'm being really honest. And I've been observant. I've been very observant on, and that's probably what Trump was saying, taking black jobs, because you're not hiring blacks. Why are you not hiring blacks that are well qualified? So I love to see that these black women are like at the top of the game and being, in business. I love to see it that they're starting businesses and that, the most educated coming out of whatever it is. I love it. Don't stop. Don't stop, because it's going to be the women that's going to make the change. Okay? We need to own stuff. We need to keep it within us. We need to share it. We need to build and really build unity amongst ourselves and just show respect and love to everyone else. And that's for real. Until others treat us like that, until others treat us with the same respect, we can work and do our things, but trust me, they're not going to look out for you right now. They can do all this yapping right now, but they're just going to hire themselves. You have a better chance working for a white man.
That Mexicans cleanse their neighborhoods of black people.
Where's the black and brown unity now? I want to know, where's the black and brown unity now? Black folks, y'all brag about black and brown unity so much. Where is it now? How many more evidence, or how much more situations where the Latino community is going to keep terrorizing you? How much more do you need? How much more can you take? But y'all want to talk about black and brown unity. How do you realize Latinos never talk about black and brown unity? And then you want me to accept that these people who comes over here, a lot of them come over here legally. They try to do turf wars with us in Chicago. They ran us out of Compton, took it all over Southern California, and you want me to believe that these are my people. We have Israelite organizations out here teaching this foolishness that these Mexicanos, right, who a lot of them are under MS-13, which is funded by the Rockefellers, that these people are my people. You want me to believe this nonsense over my Igbo brethren, my Yoruba brethren, my Mende brethren, who are on the west coasts of Africa. You want me to believe that Jorge, Julio, Maria are my people. And yet, they're not talking about black and brown unity. No, they're about massacring us as much as possible. I'm going to show you a little history with these people. These Latinos are descendants of Spanish and Portuguese conquistadors. What does that mean? That means these people who are descendants of those people are the same people that enslaved you. And yet you have Negroes, our people, black men who look like me, who is out when he's...
I will say this about this man. He's probably a Pan-African. I will say that. Listen to what he said. Listen. I want y'all to listen, right? I'll stop.
My Igbo brother that
right here
teaching this foolishness that these Mexicanos, right, who a lot of them are under MS-13, which is funded by the Rockefellers, that these people are my people.
This is the part everybody watch right here.
People. You want me to believe this nonsense over my Igbo brethren, my Yoruba brethren, my Mende brethren.
That's what makes them Pan-African. That's why I say, yo, you got to be careful with these people because shit like this. Shit like this. I'm not saying that he can't push what he wants to push. Like I get the Hebrew Israelites thing, but at the end of the day, if there's 12 tribes of Israel, you need to be caring about your first tribe first instead of trying to bring the tribes together. You need to be, especially if you're the tribe of Judah. If you're part of the tribe of Judah, you're supposed to be making yourself strong so you can make other people strong. You can't make other people strong while you're going already in war. You can't be winning other wars and you're in war with another clan. White supremacy. It's impossible. They want us to win their war, but we're going through a war with white supremacy that they're not helping. That's one backlash I have against the Hebrew Israelites. They want us to make the whole 12 tribes strong, but not one tribe is strong right now. It's not one tribe. Y'all trying to bring all these tribes together. I understand you're trying to fasten the progress, but you're doing more harm than good. You know, and I'm not against the Hebrew Israelites. I would never be against the Hebrew Israelites. They're the ones who help me with the way I eat. There's certain things I just don't eat. I don't eat pork. I don't eat that much shelled fish or shelled seafood. Like I don't eat shrimp. I barely eat crab. I don't like crab. I don't eat crab. I barely eat lobster. I eat lobster probably 4 times a year or 3 times a year. I only had lobster probably once this year. So this is what I'm talking about. Like, I get their method. It's not going to work in this era right now. It's not going to work in this era. We can't strengthen Latinos when they're trying to be the white supremacists. When they're trying to fit in with the white supremacists. When they're trying to be the oppressors. When they're trying to be under that white coat or that white cloak. So it's just not going to work.
Who are on the west coasts of Africa. You want me to believe people. And yet, Arya, the guy who made up that doctrine, came out and admitted it before he passed away that all 12 tribes were black. You want me to believe these people who keep massacring us is my people. Yet in the prison industrial complex, they partner up with white supremacists quicker than anything else. But you want me to believe that these are my people. This is why the Bible tells us as Israelites, right? The scriptures tells us what? It's to stay away from these other nations. Separate yourselves from these other nations, for these other nations are what? Traps and snares unto you. All they're going to be is just a trap where they pretend to like you, they pretend to love your culture, they pretend to mess with you until what? They get what they want, which is what? Your property, your honor, your integrity, anything you can think of where they can culture jack you, take your stuff, take your property, right? And then they want to come back and tell you, oh, amigo, we're just friends, we're cool. I don't mess with them like that. I'm cool with them because I live in the East Coast, right? But I don't mess with them with them other nations like that, because I know what they're going to do. These individuals, these Latinos, they are not our people. How much more evidence, black folks, that you're going to need for you to wake up and realize you've been taught wrong? There is no black and brown unity. There is no black and white unity. There is no black and Indian unity. There is no black and Arab unity. You are who you are, all you got. They are not on your team. The only here is to make money off of you and your suffering, culture jack from you, and keep it pushing. They're not your friends. The Bible says that you will be sold unto your enemies. Why you think these other nations, they're terrified, excuse me, they're terrified of brothers like me who talk and teach like this? Why do you think that? Because I'm not as open and inviting, right? I'm not as open and inviting like all our people are. This is what happens. Where black folks always want to attach themselves with every other nation. You want to open your arms because you despise your own people. You think you're going to be accepted by all these other nations just for them to get.
That was a good one, everyone. We're not gonna watch the whole bunch of it, because we got like 3 or 4 more left. Let me see. Because I want to get into this one right here, but I'm gonna do this Tariq Nasheed one right here.
Darling Radio, like and subscribe. Darling Radio, like and subscribe.
Wait. Somebody said we calling ICE on people. Hold on. I didn't call ICE on nobody. Hold on. This is she's Haitian. All right, hop on, Beauty and Aquarius. Hop on. Y'all don't be in the comment section just saying stuff. Beauty and Aquarius, hop on. I sent you an invite. Hop on, ma'am. There you go. Miss Beauty?
Yes.
Did you say who's calling ICE on somebody? Who?
Yeah, a lot of Black Americans have been calling ICE on Caribbeans and Africans.
I haven't, so I haven't called ICE on nobody. But ICE was coming to get
I never said specifically you,
Right.
but it has been happening.
Okay. Well, there's been a lot of stuff being done. A lot of Caribbeans have been doing undermining shit to foundational Black Americans, like your fellow Caribbean Candace Owens and others, and Winsome Sears, who's Caribbean like you.
How could you be foundational if you're African, if you are descendants of African slaves? There was never enslaved Black Americans in America. It was only enslaved Africans. You only became an American citizen with the 14th Amendment.
That's not
and
true.
with the administration.
That's not true.
Yeah, the 14th.
Slow it down. You're not gonna, man. What the hell are you talking about? Slow down. Let's unpack everything you're saying. You don't have to go fast. Let's unpack everything you're saying. Let's start from the beginning. You say, how can we be foundational when we're African slaves? What? Elaborate on that.
I said, how could you be foundational Black Americans if you're descendants of African slaves? That would mean you were never enslaved in America, but I know for a fact that there weren't any Black enslaved Americans. It was enslaved Africans who then after, let me finish. After slavery ended, while Reconstruction.
Ma'am, hold on. What are you talking about, ma'am? There's
If you
not.
can
Hold on.
finish my statement.
Because you're all over the place. It's not making sense. What you're saying ain't making no sense.
Well,
I have
listen
documents.
to
Man, listen to me. The word African is not on no documents in my family. The word African is nowhere.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
black, Negro, mulatto. Wasn't no African word nowhere on none of the documents. None.
Okay. Okay, that doesn't change anything.
Yeah, but what you talking about then? They didn't
I'm
enslave us.
saying there wasn't, you can't call yourself foundational. That means you were here before Columbus, which is not true.
Wait. It is true. It is. There
No,
were black
it's
people here.
not.
Yes, it is.
There weren't any black people
Yes, it was.
in North America
Yes, it was.
before.
Yeah, the thing about it, you lying don't change the reality.
You could look this up just
Yeah,
because
we have looked it up, ma'am. You lying doesn't. It's been very well documented.
like it doesn't mean
And by the way, if we're African, then why are you calling yourself Haitian then?
I'm black and I'm African and I'm of Haitian descent. Like,
why don't y'all call yourself African Haitians?
We do call ourselves African. Haitians definitely.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Haitian,
no, you don't. No, you don't.
Haitians do acknowledge our African ancestry.
I didn't say acknowledge. No, we acknowledge African genetics because everybody got African genetics. Haitians don't call themselves African Haitians. Why?
We don't say African Haitians. We say we're Haitian, but we have
and we are right, and we're saying we're foundational Black Americans.
And what would make you foundational? It would
because we were here because we built the United States. We built we built the United States, and we were citizens before the 14th Amendment. We were citizens, ma'am.
You weren't.
Ma'am, how were we able to vote? How were we able to vote in the 16 and 1700s?
The reason why you were what?
Yeah,
How
we were able to vote. Yes, in order to vote, you had to
said
be
in the
citizen.
1600s?
Yeah, the 16, 17, and early 1800s. We were able to vote before the 14th
How come?
Amendment.
But America wasn't America until 1776.
Right, that's the 1700s, dear. That's the 1700s.
Okay.
So why were we able to vote then?
You weren't able to vote because you weren't considered citizens.
We were able to vote, dear.
You have to be considered a citizen in order to vote.
And we were able to vote in many cities.
Because after Reconstruction, you had paying.
Why we were able to vote in the late 1700s and early 1800s in many cities.
Me, but not allowing me to finish.
Because you're not going to talk over me, ma'am. Why we were able to vote, and you had to be a citizen to vote, so that proved we were citizens, right?
Exactly. You were able to vote because once you became a citizen with the 14th Amendment,
before the 14th Amendment, ma'am, we were able to vote in many places before the 14th Amendment. You don't know what you're talking about. We what?
No, you were not.
Okay, good. I'm not going to, you're not going to just sit here lying. All right. There you go. If your response is just lying, okay, I ain't got nothing else to say to this lying tether. Family, y'all look up what I'm saying. I'm not going to sit here just with a dumb lying tether. Your response is, you ain't got no argument. Family, the late 1700s, I'm talking about when America was America, after 1776, but between 1776 and 1860, there were Black people who were able to vote. Do y'all understand that? Look it up real quick. Y'all fact check it. There were Black people. There were free Black communities. Yeah, in order to vote, you had to be a citizen. We were citizens. You understand? Now, with the 14th Amendment, after that Dred Scott decision, what they tried to do was strip our citizenship away on a federal level, and we fought back against it. They were trying to strip the citizenship away. Y'all understand? And we said, no, we stood on business and fought against that. Let's be very clear. Boy, this woman told all types of lies. She's like, yeah, it wasn't no Black enslaved people here, only enslaved Africans. What the hell are you talking about? They weren't calling us Africans. It was Negro, Black, and mulatto. The hell are you talking about? That woman just came in here. She thought she was going to just bust off a whole bunch of lies back to back. No, ma'am. You're not going to do that. No, we're going to slow walk this and unpack every lie. Yeah, New Jersey, they were able to vote in the late 1700s. And she tried to lie, talking about, yeah, we call ourselves African Haitians. No, you don't. See, that's the problem with the tethers. The tethers, boy, with that all that damn lying, they hate. Yeah, the foundational is whooping their ass, but that term kicks them in their ass because see, they need us, family, to be generic Africans. You're Haitian. You get to hold on to your unique identity, but we're not supposed to hold on to our unique identity. We are foundational. We are the only foundational group here. We are foundational Black Americans, and they hate that. They hate that. You understand? Because they cannot tether on to it. That's the reason why they hate it. That's they cannot remix it. They cannot flip it. Foundational Black American, that's a lineage, that is not an ideology. Let's reiterate this stuff.
I'm also going to say this. I'm going to add on. What Tariq Nasheed is saying, I didn't know. I didn't know that they could vote. So, but at the end of the day, he said fact check it. He said, like, yo, if you think he's lying, look it up. So, what can we actually really say that he's lying about? What can we actually say that, you know, that is not true? You know, we can't keep on giving out false information, and we're not even rewriting. We're correcting history right now. Black Americans' history has been lied on so much that we don't even know what's true or not.
It's not about agreeing with the political stance. It's not about holding a certain worldview. It's not about having a specific attitude towards other groups. It's about being lineage descendant from Black people who were enslaved and freed in the United States before the 20th century. No amount of ideology, love, hate for other groups, nothing is going to change your ancestral lineage. You can't opt it out of your bloodline. It's baked in us. Only non-FBAs try to play this game where they try to rename us and make our lineage about an ideology. Talking about xenophobic, all that bullshit. That's them projecting their own insecurities. Your lineage ain't got no emotional requirement. You don't have to hate nobody. You don't have to feel a way about another group. None of that stuff. There's foundational Black Americans who are Pan-African. There are foundational Black Americans who are conservative. There's foundational Black Americans who are liberal. There's foundational Black Americans who are apolitical. There's foundational Black Americans who are pro-immigrant. There's foundational Black Americans who are married to immigrants. None of that changes your lineage, though. It has nothing to do with your damn lineage at all. Your lineage is your lineage. Yeah? And these people are upset because we are gatekeeping our lineage. We're not letting people come in, flip, and then bastardize and then disrespect our lineage. We're just not letting that happen no more. And us acknowledging our foundational Black American lineage, that protects our cultural, historic, political identity from being erased and exploited and co-opted. If a Nigerian and a Haitian, you can gatekeep your culture without being called xenophobic, we're going to get that same goddamn respect. We're getting the same respect. Ain't that right, revenue? Oh, we didn't summon that damn tether. Oh, wait, did revenue say he don't want to associate with SNAP benefit FBAs? Oh, Lord. What kind of projection is that? So many of y'all tethers are on welfare and foods.
Didn't we tell him this Friday night? We were like, when revenue went crazy on everybody, calling niggas broke ass niggas and stuff, because he gave he gave a donation. And I gotta give him. He was the first one to give a super chat. So salute to revenue. He did give a super chat, but right is right and wrong is wrong. You know, Yeah, right is right. Right is right and wrong is wrong. That's why I told him I donated to his country. I donated some salted fish because I know Caribbean people like salted. But yeah, um, it's getting crazy out here. Not for us, but for y'all, for immigrants and stuff. And like I said, desperate times come from desperate measures, and they're desperate right now. Everyone, I just want y'all to pay attention and peep your surroundings.
Stamps, if you don't get out of here revenue, y'all be the first one up in the damn welfare line with your flip-flops on. And damn Bammy crumbs dripping all on the damn floor.
He said Bammy crumbs.
You don't get the hell out of here revenue if you don't stop. Hop on this camera revenue since you want to talk greasy in that comment section. Hop on that camera revenue.
What's up, Tariq?
You hopping on camera, that's what's up. Hop on camera.
Why you want me to
hop on camera? Because you act like a fed. We just want to make sure you ain't feding out. Hop on camera revenue. Come on now. Hop on camera. That's the requirement. You can only talk if you get on camera.
How do I do it? I don't know how to do it.
Bro, I know you probably got a T-Mobile sidekick, but make that thing happen. Y'all tethers y'all know how to rig things. Rig it so the camera come on.
Nah, that's y'all.
Figure it out and call back, nigga. All right, you do that. You ain't gonna tether babble up here. All right, figure it out and you call back. Meet the goddess. What's up, goddess? Hop on, dear.
Hi, Tariq.
Hey, dear, hop on camera.
I am going to respectfully decline. I'm in a bonnet and a house dress.
Okay.
So,
if you look at toe up, that's okay. If you look,
pardon?
Now, if you look toe up, that's okay. Where you from, Miss Goddess?
My lineage is Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Carolinas, but I'm born and raised in Seattle, Washington.
Okay, so you're out there in Seattle now?
I am, West Coast.
There you go. What's on your mind?
So the person who came up, the Jamaican woman, when she said something about Africans and you were like, that's not on any of the birth certificates or information of my people, she said, why does that matter? And I wanted to tell her why that matters. That matters because if you look at certain, and I majored in African American history at the University of Washington and African diaspora, blah, blah, blah. So this is my field of academia. What do I want to say? So you would see these slave auction posters that would say things like now selling 11 Negroes and 4 Africans. And you have to ask yourself, if you're a critical thinker, why would they be saying Negroes and Africans if they're all the same? And the answer is because they are not the same. Most of us, and I am on Ancestry.com, I pay $40 a month for that thing, Tariq, and I'm telling you, I have traced my lineage damn near back to the 1400s. Not everybody, most of my stuff stops in the 1600s, but my furthest is to the 1400s. I don't have a single person where it says African. I have a bunch of Negroes and white people and indigenous, whatever else. But the important thing to notice about Negro is that Negro is a reclassification for an indigenous American.
Right.
That is what Negro means. Yes, Negroes are black. We are racially black, just like the Australian Aborigine is racially black. But you're not going to go to the Australian Aborigine and say, hey, how come you don't call yourself an African Aborigine? They're from Australia. We've been black. We've been here. My people are Choctaw, and before they are Choctaw, Chickasaw. Before they are Chickasaw, they are Washita. I have a bunch of Moors in my family where their last name is actually Moore. And we're these giant 6-foot-something people. And before, or the Washita are a derivative from the Olmec. So you're sitting here trying to tell me I'm not an indigenous American when I'm telling you I know for a fact that is who I am. I do not negate African ancestry. We know Mansa Musa sailed here. We know that Abu Bakari, his brother, sailed here as well. We know that they didn't leave. We know there is African admixture in our lineage. But we are telling you, we are indigenous Americans. We are copper-colored people. We are who?
Kwame, why are you scared to Why are you scared to jump on camera, man? With Tariq Nasheed, you don't even got to jump on camera with me. Jump on camera with Tariq Nasheed, man. Are you scared he's gonna clown you, man? Yeah, he will probably.
Columbus wrote back to Elizabeth or whatever Queen of Spain, and he said, "What in God's name are the people of the Queen of Sheba doing here?" He was confused.
Yes, indeed.
So I just wanted to make it clear, like, these Siberians are not the only, native people here. I'm not going to negate how long they've been here or how they feel about being native, but that's why they say native and not indigenous. And moreover, that is why you never hear Native Americans talking about slavery, because they're Siberian and because they came after us. Because the first people who were enslaved here were who? Native American. They were Aborigines, they were indigenous, and none of them have stories about who was enslaved. Whereas I just told you, my great-great-grandmother was a full-blood Choctaw slave on a Ferguson plantation and another plantation called Plain Dealing. Like I said, I can trace my lineage back and prove I'm Michael Jackson's cousin and all kind of stuff. But you can't take this away from us. This is why we're foundational, because before there was a United States of America, before there were 13 colonies, before it was just the Carolinas and Virginia, we were already here. That's what makes us foundational. You have North and South America as continents. You don't have the United States until enslaved Negroes built a United States. That is foundational. That means here from the beginning.
Right.
Our ethnogenesis is here. We are an admixture from here that did not exist until now. So if you want to talk to us, to tell us to go, claim Africa, tell us to claim Europe too, because the average Negro is between 10 and 15% European. You're not telling us to go back to Europe. You're not telling us we're foundational Europeans and why don't you claim this and that. You're not going to the Brazilian and telling the Brazilian that, why aren't you saying you're African? They say they're from Brazil. It's enough. Whole time, Brazil is the blackest nation outside of Nigeria. There are more black people and Africans per capita in Brazil. Brazil is huge, but you're not going to them and trying to steal their ethnicity. You're only doing that to us. And that's why we say tether, because it's weird behavior. And it's weird because you don't do it to anybody else. You were trying to tell an African American, oh, you're this African slave from a ship. Plenty of those African slaves on ships went to Jamaica, went to Trinidad, Tobago, went to St. Croix, whatever island you want to talk about, the Bahamas. But you don't tell them they're Africans. If they say I'm Bahamian, that is sufficient for you. If they say I'm a Trini, that is sufficient for you. And it is. But when we say who we are, you get upset. And that is erasure. What else are we supposed to think about that? You're trying to erase us, and we don't want to be erased. Like I love you. Like I love, obviously if I've been to Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Zanzibar, studying abroad in undergrad. I'm a former Pan-Africanist. And part of the reason I'm a former Pan-Africanist is because I saw what Africans and what Caribbeans really think of me.
Thank you.
In the grassroots level.
You hear this girl talk? I think y'all missed what she said. Listen again, everyone.
Who we are, you get upset. And that is erasure. What else are we supposed to think about that? You're trying to erase us, and we don't want to be erased. Like I love you. Like I love, obviously if I've been to Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, Zanzibar, studying abroad in undergrad. I'm a former Pan-Africanist. And part of the reason I'm a former Pan-Africanist is because I saw what Africans and what Caribbeans really think of me in the grassroots level organization. And it was pitiful and it was traumatic. So that's all I have to say here. Thank you for letting me up. And also thank you for not making me open my camera.
It's all good. I hope everything is looking good over there. Did you cook, sister? I just followed you, sister. This sister cooked. Thank you so much. Oh, she cooked. That sister cooked. She cooked. Oh, she cooked. Shout out to her. She cooked. Boy, that sister was hitting on all cylinders. Boy, she made so many good ass points. They only try to Africanize us. She made a point. They don't do that to Brazilians. You don't tell them to identify as Africa. You respect their ethnogenesis as Brazilians. You don't do that to Jamaicans. You don't do that to no other Caribbeans. You don't do that to yourself. Why? They only try to Africanize us, to make us generic Africans. And the reason why they do that, they only do it for one reason. They can't, Africanizing the Brazilians, you can't extrapolate nothing from them. You can't really tether on to the Brazilians. So you just leave them be with their lineage. You can't tether on to Jamaicans. Let's keep it real. Let's just break this thing down. You can't really tether on to them. You're not going to get nothing. You can't tether on to Haitians. You're not going to get nothing out of it. But with us, by making us generic Africans, you can tether on to that. Well, I'm African too, so whatever those FBAs get, I get too. That's what that shit is about. It's resource co-opting. That's why they need us to be generic Africans, so they can latch on to it. That's the only reason. That's the only reason, ladies and gentlemen. Foundational Black Americans, we are the most politically and economically empowered Black group in the diaspora. Not even in the world. So we're targeted for Africanization because we hold the most political influence, media visibility, economic power, any other group globally. So the goal is to attach themselves to our legacy and redirect the momentum towards Pan-Africanism, and they leave all these other groups alone. See, these other people, they got clearly defined national identities. They got a culture, accent, all that stuff. So you're not going to rebrand them as generic Africans. Yeah? But they always want to come in here and try to control the narrative with us. And also they want to get in on that reparations claim. Because they know when the reparations come, I want y'all to really feel me on something. When the reparations come, when we get reparations, family, it's not if, it's when. The Tethers are terrified because of that. Because the Tethers understand something, family. The Candace Owens, these people, they know that the white supremacists use them as buffers. They know that they're weaponized against us. You understand? Like Revenue, this Tether in here whining. He's in there talking about we ain't gonna get reparations. Look, they want us to not get reparations. They are praying we don't get reparations, family. Because they understand once we get reparations, their buffer status is gonna be obsolete. And the white supremacists are gonna look at them as being useless. They're going to look at them as like, your job was to stop these Negroes. Your job was to get in there and stir up confusion. Your job was to get in there and undermine the reparations. That's why whenever we talk about reparations, it's a goddamn tether somewhere on a reparations board messing it up. Just like with Sheila Jackson Lee with HR 40. That's not, she was Jamaican, rest in peace, she died. That's not an accident that they always got some Caribbean tethers and all these people on some reparations board that's meant for us. They know these people are there to crash it out. They know this. They're put there to crash it out. Remember when they did that little jive-ass reparations hearing on national TV? Who did they have up there? Coleman Hughes, who's Puerto Rican, and Candace Owens, who's Caribbean, talking against it. Yeah, Byron Donalds, he's Caribbean. He's going around talking about, well, we shouldn't get it because other folks ain't going to be able to get it. Remember that Sambo Tether was on the Breakfast Club saying that? And they asked him, Charlemagne and those guys say, reparations, for people who are foundational Black Americans, it should be for them. He was like, yeah, I ain't with it. I'm against it because other folks ain't going to get it. Other Black people ain't going to be able to get it, so I ain't with it. They know what these tethers are doing. They're put up there to do that. That's why they are terrified of us getting reparations, because we're going to get it, and those tethers are going to be obsolete. But yeah, we've been here. We are literally foundational, and they hate that. They can sit here. We got too much evidence. There's way too much archaeological evidence, firsthand account evidence, DNA evidence, documented evidence of black people being on this land thousands of years. To think that there were not black people here, you got to be out of your damn mind. If there are black people, black-skinned people with afros, all in Pacific Islands, all in remote places like Samoa. Have y'all been to Samoa? I've been to Samoa. You got dark-skinned people with afros running around there. Fiji. You think people reached Fiji with dark skin and afros and didn't get here?
Facts.
This big-ass landmass? Really? Come on. Yeah, I've been over to Fiji. These folks jet black with afros all through Melanesia, all through New Guinea. You think black-skinned afro people in Asia, you go into the jungles of Asia, you see people look like African tribes over there who are straight Asian, straight up and down Asian. And I'm telling you what I saw. I ain't talking about what the hell I read. I'm saying what I saw. I went over to Malaysia and Thailand and went deep into those jungles and saw those negritos. I'm sitting up there looking at them. They looking at me like, damn, are we related? Your hair look like mine. In the Philippines, those negritos all up in the Philippines. They had them all in China and Japan. Those negritos. Some of the original Hawaiians, before they got mixed up, you go look at old images of some of those Hawaiians. Dude, stop. I've been down to Tahiti. You got people in Tahiti look like black folks in Harlem. Black skin with afros. And Tahiti is in the middle of nowhere in the Pacific Ocean. You think people didn't reach here? Really? Black-skinned people didn't get here? Come on now.
Facts, Ray Ray. I agree with that.
Let's be real. And again, all the European explorers, when they got here, they told you exactly what the people look like. They look like the Ethiopians, meaning African. They look like people in Africa. They kept saying that over and over again. Were they lying? That's not.
Remember I said that to American Dream Friday? He said, no, that's not true. I was like, yeah. That's what Christopher Columbus said. Yeah.
Not the argument if we are African or not. That's not the argument, PJ Sunshine. I'm talking about what we look like. That's what I'm talking about. When the Europeans got here, they said some of the Aboriginal people here look like Ethiopians. That means African. They look like the people in Africa. This is what they said. I'm just telling you what they said. All right? All right? Man. But we in here deep, boy. We are here hella deep. Shout out to everybody in here. Y'all throw some gifts up in here real quick. Everybody throw some gifts up in here. What is that?
Everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment in the live chat, as always. And also, subscribe. And another thing is, if you want to donate, I'll put it in the live chat. And if you can't donate, I understand. Times is hard. You can share this channel. You can share this channel, and also just share the channel. That'll help me out as well too, until you get back on your feet and stuff. And thank you.
They ain't your people, though? How do you know who our people are? Hold on, who is that talking? I don't like folks in the comment. Y'all saying stuff in the comment, but you can't get up here and... All right, Slimy, hold on, Slimy. Yeah, hop on in, Slimy. You saying stuff in the comments. Hold on. We're saying stuff in the comments. Hold on, Slimy. Let's talk about that. Hold on. Slimy, hop on in. All right. Slimy, hop on in, Slimy. Hold on. I can't see him now. Slimy, do a request to get on up here. Since you got a lot of stuff to say in the comments, hop on in. Mr. Slimy. Yeah, okay, we got this militia name.
That's my business page, bro. Why, how'd you turn into a CIA agent from being a Pan-African, bro?
What you got the CIA against?
You're clearly, by the way, you might be happy about this, but you've been mentioning.
No, because y'all tethers say stuff and get debunked real quick and then run on to the next lie. So you about to do the whole lying tether thing? Are you going to do that, just sit here lying?
No, I'm about to tell you that they featured your work in the new Vince Staples show. You didn't know that? Episode 5 and 6.
What was it? What were they talking about?
They talked about buck breaking. So basically, he did an episode where he went to an old,
Okay, you just talking. So you're in the UK. You're a tether in the UK. How long you been in the UK? How long you been in the UK, sir? And you sound, the way you're lying, you sound like you're Nigerian.
2002, mate. Since 2002.
Okay, you're Nigerian, right?
No, I'm Zambian.
Zambian. You lie like a Nigerian. So do all of y'all just lie the same way? God damn. You lie like a goddamn Nigerian. Your style of lies, I can usually figure it out. I believe you're Nigerian.
I just told you they mentioned buck breaking.
Okay, yeah, you just babbling and you're giggling like a hoe, like somebody's tickling your bussy with they tickling your bussy with an ostrich feather. This ticklish tether. Okay, you doing the I had to get him out of here. Okay, somebody's playing with his bussy. Okay, just a ticklish tether. All right, get the hell out of here. Oh Lord. I don't want to hear no lying ass tether right now. He ain't Zambian, he's Nigerian. His style of lies is Nigerian. Lord. Good grief. Oh, Lord. These tethers. Man. All right. Let me get some sisters in here. We got to clean up that moist energy. Y'all throw some gifts up in here. Everybody throw some gifts in here, if you will. Y'all want it to keep going? Throw some gifts in here. Let's get some gifts in here, family. Let me shout you out, the legendary Tethernator.
That was a good one. Another thing. That's another thing. See? You see how these people just come up and lie? Even Kwame came up and... you want to hear something crazy? I actually thought that guy was Kwame, so.
That might change your life as well.
This one right here, 19 Keys. He's gonna be talking about Black unity is a contive issue.
Well, recently I was sitting down and I was preparing to do this 5-day challenge. And I said, what do I want to do it about? And I had to think about me reverse engineering my life. How did I get to a point where I was able to succeed, right? And everything that I think about, I always go from micro to macro. I think about how things that affect me in the micro also may have a representation on the macro level of the cultural consciousness itself. And it seems like there is this tension in the air consistently over and over and over and over and over and over again. And we're always trying to figure out, how do we unite? How do we get over this hump, right? And I don't think that we figured out what other people know about us, right? And what they know about how the brain works. I think that Black unity is a cognitive issue, purely cognitive issue. And I think that it really goes into us not having the right systems. It's not that we don't have the love for each other, right? It's not that we don't have the knowledge of how to do it. And it's the same thing in your own life, right? As I was sitting down thinking about what are things that I execute on and why don't I execute on certain things. And I'm like, why is this sometimes I have a level of burst of energy to where I can see myself organizing my thoughts and my ideas to achieve certain outcomes. And other times I feel like I'm procrastinating and my brain is more scattered. Then why does it feel like sometimes in history we can see black people organizing? A case in point is the Million Man March, right? There was a set outcome and goal, right? This outcome had a particular aim to it. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that we want to have 1 million people, right? That gives us a measurable goal so we know exactly what success looks like, right? There was a date that was set, October 16th, 1995, right? Now everybody can see it, and this process is called externalization. So you can't leave it up to people's brain to utilize their mental imaging system to start thinking about what they need to do. Why? It's because trauma destroys that ability, right? A lot. That ability to imagine, right? That ability to not only imagine, but to actually think about the future in a way where it's real. See, what happens is that when you're going through trauma shortens and shrinkens your ability to see into the future, right? It makes the future only real if it's immediate, where it's smacking you in the face like, oh, I need to do something because this date is about to close. Let me start organizing. And so, therefore, you lack the clarity that's needed to guide you on a day-to-day basis so that you can be a part of an outcome, whether that's in your individual life or your collective life. Right now, Black America wants to organize. And it's not that we don't know how, we don't have the systems, or particularly, unfortunately, the collective capability to do so without it being a systemic thing, right? And so we're going to go over this in a little bit. So let's think about your own life, right? As I was putting together this message today, I started thinking about my life.
And everybody, I never seen this video. It seemed like it was a great video to watch today. So that I haven't seen it.
My family, and I start thinking about my brain and the way that it works and things of that nature. And I'm like, how come it's the point to where you know things that you cannot get yourself to do? Black America knows what to do, but cannot get the collective body to do it. Well, think about your own individual life. How many things that you know to do but don't do? Right now, gold is stocked up, right? 4,300. People are rushing to go get gold, right? It is the hedge against a failing economy. I've been breaking down solar cycles and that how us being in a peak solar cycle, which is an 11-year cycle of the sun, emitting vast amounts of radiation, right, to the earth is one of the greatest indicators that we're going to go through some sort of economic collapse, right? And so I've been teaching, preaching, telling everybody about it. Yo, silver follows this collapse. Last year when I went to Canada and I spoke, I gave a great breakdown, right, on how to get backed by gold, what happens in the gold markets, what follows in the gold market, what happened during this time. So many people know. But even though they had that information, they wanted to act upon it. They thought about acting on it, and they just didn't. Sounds familiar? How many of you all had a day where you had so many things planned, and by the end of the day, nothing happened? The plans just stayed internal. Nothing externalized. Nothing actualized. So I've been identifying, and I see so many people sell courses, things of that nature, and the blame is so improperly put on the teacher in a sense that the information is not valuable. No. Is the student don't have the capability to execute, not because they're not disciplined, not because they don't care enough, right? It's not a willful issue. It's that their brain is disconnected from what it knows to what it can do. Now, this goes into a deeper science that I won't have time today to get into. But let's just say that there's two parts of the brain. One that holds all the information, right, that you have, and one that plans, right, and one that executes. And let's say that you're holding information, but the part that execute does not connect to this information. So the circuitry never wires in a manner that allows you to execute day to day. And let's say that we're now living in a world that is constantly making this problem even worse, similar to what happens in an attention deficit disorder brain. But we have the same issue now in America, in the world. Everybody has attention deficit, right? Hypofrontality, where it requires more stimulation for you to feel. So this means that instead of your brain being able to stimulate from the prefrontal cortex that is responsible for
Yeah, Breeze Omega, that's Shabaka.
long-term engagement and planning, your limbic system is taking over to where you're just trying to get a hit of dopamine. Instead, we should be seeking serotonin, delayed gratification, planning, investing. No, everything that is on social media is hyper hitting your limbic system, trying to give you a hit of dopamine all day. So instead of that long-term reward, you're focusing on that short-term win. This is what politicians always do and engage you with, right? This is what short speak does when they're talking about things. So instead of you thinking about what is that thing we need to do long term, you can only care about things if there's an emergency, trauma response, right? Activating the system, giving you that clarity. And then in that clarity, you're able to organize yourself based on what you know what to do, but you're always missing the deadline. We're missing the cycle. We're out of harmony. And this can get really deep, right? Because this is this reactive mind, and it requires us to have a super mind, right? So I'm on my way to London, and I'm fresh in this because I'm putting together a presentation. And this presentation, by the time I'm done, I think it will allow anybody to improve, right, their performance in life, right, 100%. Whatever you feel like you couldn't do. It's not that you need more skills. It's not that you need more goals, right? You need better systems. And not only that, you need to develop environments that allow you to utilize the information that you know, right? The problem is that the phone became an environment that's continuously destroying our ability to pay attention to things, right? So now it is constantly attacking our brain, and our cognitive defense system is very low and is continually advancing. So if we're in this constant state of trauma, right? And the trauma is shortening our ability to think long term in the future, right? Even though we know all the things that we should do, we can't organize it because the collective body, right, is constantly nervous. So the nervous system needs to be calm in order for us to collectively activate, or it needs to be in a state of emergency. So we're waiting for the world to end to do the right thing. Because when the world is getting closer and closer and closer to ending, you start getting that clarity on, number one, I don't have any other choice. Let me do this. Similar to when you were a child and you didn't want to do homework until the last moment. We've all been there, right? You know that, man, tomorrow I got to do this homework. I got to write this paper. So now you start getting clarity on exactly what you need to do. This can even get deeper. So Black people in the world did not have that many words for near future, right? So we start talking about the psychology of Blacks based on the psychology of Robert L. White. He did a great study on this, right? And many other philosophers as well. But you have to remember that Black history is always oral history, right? So there's always this immediate passing down. Elder generations were the future, right? In the past, they held the information. They let you know, right? They gave you great insights, right? And that insight was the wisdom that was needed to pass down to another generation, right? They gave them methods of psychology, philosophy, science, right? History, so many different things. You had to get it from the elders. The youth would speak to the elders, and they would also give them, right, new innovations, ways of thinking, right? Then there will be improvement upon iterations and functions as there was this passing down. Oral history would happen. You would gather in communities. You would share information. There will be rituals that are happening to this process. Similar to as we get into branding. But when the rituals start to destroy, the culture destroys as well, because the psychic entity that is created by the ritual of culture, right, is now being broken down. This is why in Africa, it was colonization destroyed things, because what they did is they destroyed the rituals, they destroyed the pattern, right? They destroyed the symbols, they destroyed the meaning of things, and it started to erase.
Kwame, you didn't know about 19 Keys until me. And you're still mad about 19 Keys because he told you that Pan-Africanism was... He said it was funded by the CIA. You're still mad about that.
Right? That ability to communicate with each other, right? It started to erase the culture in the minds of the people. And since it was not written down, right, and it wasn't externalized, it was not easy for them to continue that particular culture and the power that came from it. And so the white man came over and he understood that. The civilizations that grew the most were those who advanced to writing things down. right? The ancient Sumerians, they had cuneiform. The ancient Egyptians, they had hieroglyphics, right? You look at all of the civilizations that lasted 500 to 1,000 plus years, right? These were the civilizations that were able to last a long time. We look at the dynasties out there in China, right? They wrote things down with calligraphy. We look at the Moorish histories, and they had vast libraries, right? Look at Mali, one of the greatest ruling empires, right? We had Timbuktu. And so it's the written knowledge that has always been the secret, because the words are very powerful to form things into existence. But to spell things is even more powerful, because to spell something is casting it over time. When you cast something over time, it is more powerful than just speaking something. The written word is more powerful than the spoken word when you're talking about time. The written word is immortal. A man may say a word once, but if nobody hears it, what does it matter? But he can write it once, and millions and billions can read it. And that reading of the mind does the same process of activating the knowledge. But this was a time where people were calm, the nervous system was calm. There was no deficit. There was no cognitive deficits happening in the mind. So you could say being it is because the mind was working. The connection between the part of the brain that knows the knowledge, right, and that plans to execute were in flow. So there was nothing ever to stop. There was no procrastination. So as a people, what they've been trying to do is dysregulate our system for a long time. If we stay in this constant state of dysregulation, we start talking about mental health, but there's no healing happening. There's not enough cognitive sciences that are backing up this movement that we talk about, right? There's little execution that's happening. We have all of these people all around, but we're in this constant frantic state of yelling at each other. And really, we all want the same thing. The conservatives say black people can build their own. The Democrats say, man, well, the government owes us. You understand me? The militants said, man, we got to do for self. We say, man, y'all acting too goddamn cool. You too dependent on them. You understand me? He's saying that you not going to get what you deserve from them. It's everybody wants one thing, though. They want the best for us so that we can be free, liberated, and sovereign. Man, maybe not everybody want the same thing, because you have a lot of people that are capitalists only. I'm talking about the pure capitalists, where they just really want to make money, live good, and do enough philanthropy so that they can be seen good for what they have. All right? They want to just, relax and go to their Martha Vineyards and enjoy whatever the hell they be doing in their bouleism. Because a lot of them are bought and sold.
We're going to listen to 5 more minutes of this, and we're going to talk about this. What he's saying is true. It's kind of all over the place, but it makes sense why he is all over the place. Or I just didn't get it. I do want to say this. 19 Keys, he's doing God's work. I gotta say that he's doing God's work, and we gotta appreciate what he's doing right now. He's giving us a spiritual training right now. We don't eat bushmeat in Jamaica. Yes, y'all do eat bushmeat in Jamaica, Kwame. Well, not no more. Y'all living on canoes right now, so yeah. You can't eat bushmeat. You can't even start a fire because y'all live on boats right now. You a dirty sharecropper. But Kwame, I don't live in a boat. Your people live in boats right now, so. Oh shit! But he's doing God's work right now. He's explaining how everything is working right now. How's everything working politically and socially right now? And I'm gonna say this: we're all looking at the big picture. We're playing the long game. While everybody was giving us the short game back in the days, we're playing the long game. We know this is gonna be a while, but at the end of the day, it's gonna work. You know, we're gonna get these reparations. You know, even though Kwame don't think so, because Kwame's not getting it. I don't even think. You know, and the thing about it, it's gonna be like this. We're gonna pass it's gonna pass down the blueprint to the Africans, as always. You know, it's gonna pass on the blueprint, but they're gonna have to fight for like 20 years, 20, 30 years, because their system is a little bit different. Their system is a little bit different, and the reason why it's different, because as they always said, they got a sovereign country. You know, so yeah. It's just true, you know. But the thing about it, this is why I never got about you, even you, Kwame. Y'all talk about sovereign countries, but y'all never there. That's like me saying, yo, I got me a fucking beam. I got the newest Mercedes Benz, but I never drive it. You can talk about it all the time, but you're never driving it. You can tell me how great the car is, how much gas you got to put in the car, but you never drive the car. You drive the car probably once every like 5 years. It's like, yo, you don't give a. I'm just being personally honest. Most of these immigrants don't give a fuck about their countries. They can say, oh, how beautiful their country is. Them niggas is not there. You know, I got to be personally honest. They're never there. They're not going to be there. They always talking about going back. They're not going back. They're going to stay in this fucking country and be happy. You know, I will say that. Let's watch this video, and this might be it.
My Nubian princess, with disrespect, oh my God, the mother of Mecca is right here before me. Do my eyes not deceive me, or am I looking at the goddess Isis herself? Can you do me a favor, my brown skin angel? Can you tap that white girl for me? My milk of magnesia. Oh.
That's Kwame.
Oh. After the devil made you, he broke the mold. Well, maybe you and I.
Pan-Africanism is dead. That shit is dead. Y'all had 70 years to make Pan-Africanism work. Y'all had 70 years and 3 goddamn generations. Okay, of black people immigrating to America to make that shit work. Okay, Pan-Africanism was launched by black Americans trying to connect with the diaspora, trying to connect with the continent 70 fucking years ago, for our time. Okay, but you can also go back to the Back to Africa movement that happened in the late 1800s and early 1900s, right? 1901, 1910, 1920. It shit didn't fucking work. Okay? You can go further back to the 14 and 1500s when the Europeans went over there to trade shit for African people, to enslave them and bring them to another continent. Pan-Africanism did not work then because quite a few of y'all ancestors was sitting up there operating as slave traders and slave catchers to catch the tribes that these people wanted, and even packed them up in slave castles and on boats and said, bye-bye, here, walk through this little door, no return. The shit ain't worked in 500 years, and y'all confused as to why in 2025 we are saying fuck Pan-Africanism. Pan-Africanism is dead. But y'all supposed to be smart. Y'all supposed to have all your degrees and shit. Y'all the type of motherfuckers, okay, that literally will see that a relationship with a nigga or a bitch don't work, but you keep chasing that hoe. Y'all them type of motherfuckers, okay? When something don't work, do something else. You do something else, goddammit. And y'all mad.
Hey, Kwame, you forgot about the $12 million America gave you, too. I told you, Kwame, you cannot do it by yourself. You always need white daddy to help you. You forgot $12 million that America gave you, Kwame. That your white daddy, Donald Trump, gave you to fix your country. This is why Kwame always tell you, yo, you're full of shit, man. You're a liar. You forgot that other $12 million. Kwame's forgot $12 million that America have given Jamaica to fix their country. Oh, you don't want to talk about that? All right. Yeah.
Because we have the good sense to do something fucking else with our time. I personally rather work on making the Black American community work. I'm not reaching across the fucking water trying to concern myself with getting along with motherfuckers from other countries. I would more so think it's more beneficial to try to get along with each other in this country within our ethnic group. I think all of our money, our research, our time, our degrees, our brain power, our resources should go to our fucking community. Not be sent any fucking where else. Y'all keep helping these motherfuckers, bypassing your community to help these motherfuckers just for them to get on and turn around and say, oh, we're doing better than you in your own country. Off y'all being Pan-African. While turning around and doing what they can do to hold you down because you have not realized that they are not collaborating with you. They are competing with you. And if it's time to compete, bitch, let's go ahead and compete then. That's the type of time I'm on. Have a good day. Because at the end of the day, I don't have 10 more years in me. I remember coming up being young back in my 20s when we had to explain white supremacy to these motherfuckers. And now y'all want to holler, we all black under white supremacy. The people y'all had to explain white supremacy to. The people y'all had to explain systemic oppression to. The people you had to explain colonialism, neo-colonialism, colonization to. All these different principles, all these different concepts, all these different ideologies and theories that we understand that Black Americans have written books about, we had to literally try to find the smallest, most simplest, layman's terms explaining this shit to these motherfuckers like they was in kindergarten. Them motherfuckers didn't even know what xenophobia fucking was until we told them what it was. Just for them to turn around and holler, we're xenophobic every time they catch an attitude. Every time they don't get their way, we xenophobic. We have been literally carrying these motherfuckers on our goddamn back. We don't have shit to lose. The only thing we gonna lose is putting them bricks of motherfuckers that was on our back down. And they know that's what it is. They know that us separating from Pan-Africanism means we will not be carrying the diaspora or the continent no fucking more. That's what they know it's gonna be. We won't be abdicating for their shit. We won't be putting them above us before ourselves because we think they are so marginalized because they come from a less fortunate country and a less fortunate continent.
Damn.
We won't be going out our way to put them on no more. That's why they want to hold on to Pan-Africanism. Because they know for a fucking fact that Pan-Africanism has benefited them far more than it has ever benefited us. And they want us to continue being stupid and continue being their slaves.
Facts.
That's it. That's all.
You know damn well what we've been doing. You know damn well what we've been putting in. And it shows you again, he's willing to undercut FBA to throw a lifeline for Fat Joe? You willing to sell us out for Fat Joe? See, I see through all of the games. Okay, I see through all the trickery, all that slickness. I understand when you're dealing with people who are on that scam African train, they're going to always try to come at you sideways and upside down. I see through all of that, all right? I know when someone's really trying to say something, they just ain't got the you know what to say it. See, that's the difference between us and them. When we feel it, we speak it. You don't like it, deal with it. That's how we get down. That's how we operate. That's how we function. He's trying to get us to see what it's like when anybody can just come around. We already know what that's like. Scam Africanism is no borders. There's no borders with scam Africanism, meaning anybody can show up and do whatever.
Yep.
That's what the hell we just got away from. If you go down to Scam Africanville, family, I'm telling you, you're going to get the same exact thing you've been getting for how long? Scam Africanism money done dried up. I want y'all to go back 5, 10 years ago. Go back 15, 20 years ago. Y'all remember when it was Scam Africanism? Y'all remember that? You ain't no damn American. You are from Africa. Remember that real lecture stuff? Remember that? This is Scam Africanism did.
Dr. Umar.
Scam Africanism, it made it to the point where you being who you are was a bad thing. You representing your lineage was a bad thing. You were supposed to wave the flag for Zaire. You were supposed to wave the flag for Kenya. Or how he's over there waving that Ghana flag. That's what you were supposed to do. You weren't supposed to talk about reparations. You want to know why we never got reparations? I'm going to tell you why we never got reparations. Because nobody felt that they were American enough to get reparations in the first damn place. They wanted reparations for everywhere in Africa opposed to America. That was the warped logic. We showed up and said, no, no, no. When we got in this era, the reparations generation, we cleaned some things up. We said, what we're going to do, we're going to be lineage first. And with lineage means you can represent who you are. You represent who you are, you can get your money. Now you can go collect the damn debt. They was trying to collect the debt from South Africa. I ain't never been there. Right here is where I'm at. All of my ancestors are right here. Once we started claiming that, it was over. So now we are on this lineage, heritage, and culture in this movement. Strong. Very, very strong. And this is what they're afraid of. Imagine, y'all, the scam African for all of those years getting over on us. And now the scam African, they can't move us the way. See, this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to move us the way they used to. You ain't an American, you African. You don't need reparations. And if you do, go give them the kingdom. They can't move us. We don't budge no more. The things that people used to do that moved us, it ain't working. Not in this era, not in this generation. So it's a different time. It's a different generation.
The pro-black and the Pan-African movements really started here in America, right? That's a fact. Marcus Garvey, So that shows we, the enlightened thinkers, we thought. And I'm not taking credit. They had great people too, but a lot of the movement started over here because we seen that we need to unite amongst one another. It was great Black American thinkers. Even the Black Panthers had this type of energy. So for us to now switch up on that, I think that it's wrong on our end.
Let me ask you something, sir. Why do you think we switched up?
I'm not saying.
Why do you think I rolled over and said, "Fuck them Africans"?
Because I want to say online, the media has, because what's his name? Kelly was saying just now, he used to love Africans. He has it tatted on his wrist, but when he met him online or whatever, they calling him all these names. He couldn't fuck with that no more.
Wait, so you think all of our experiences, everybody who's on this panel right now, my experience, everybody's experiences when I know ready to come online, is based off of online?
No. Let me not twist it in that way, right? Because I met people in real life who are African who obviously feel some type of way, and he said, his parents didn't like him as a kid too, which is fair. But you see, a little experience like that is gonna make you color a whole continent.
Since you're going to undermine all of our experiences and say that it was just him, it was just them, we should have generalized. Let me give you a general example. Wes Moore in Baltimore, the mayor of Baltimore, who's half Jamaican, I think, and half FBA, came out and made a statement saying that Black Americans don't deserve reparations. We shouldn't worry about that, and we should just worry about just moving forward. Example one. Example two, we had Kamala Harris come out and say, well, Black Americans, I need your vote, even though I'm not Black American, but I'm going to act like I'm Black American. And I can't do nothing particularly for you, but you should vote for me because I'm Black. So these are no longer jokes. These are spaces that they're now representing us and telling us what they think we need. Now this is a much more bigger problem. This is not a joke no more. Go ahead, Polo.
They're mad.
Ask a question, like, genuinely, right? At that point, I see where you're coming from.
So you see where I'm coming from. Okay, go ahead.
I see where you're coming from, right? I it's a problem when people don't respect you, but, they infiltrate.
It's on a national level.
What it is. They comparing they bottom 10%
They comparing their top 10% to our bottom 10%. If we compare 10% top 10 to top 10, we would dust them in the water. And I'm not saying like this on some, but you know, Kobe knew who can guard Kobe. It was nobody.
Nobody.
Only Kobe can guard.
How many times I have been saying this on this episode? I mean, saying this on this channel. I said, yo, if we really compare the top 10s of Africa and Black Americans, y'all niggas can't even hold a candle to us. Y'all talking about raggedy niggas that you think can be Black Americans. Or you think your best Africans can beat the most raggedy Black Americans. That's what you're thinking about, you know? We're talking about elite versus elite. It's not even a battle. It's a genocide.
Kobe.
Nobody.
And I think it's a
rest in
little.
peace.
I think it's a little jealousy too from the others too.
But see, that's
because they feel like we got main character syndrome. But we do. We all them niggas.
We do.
We them niggas.
We do. We do.
I don't know.
We do. Take the flag back, black man. It's yours. You got it. You got it. That's why I love how my queen really just rattled them all. I love that. She's cosplaying America. She can't cosplay shit that's hers. I personally, by my queen, I mean Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter. Yes, first of her name. I personally love that. I love that. No, I agree with you 110%. And then just keep it like on the whole diaspora tip. That's why any time if we would like if this conversation was to happen and if we're around people, you know, from the diaspora, the moment they start that, which I consider to be like that ignorant talk of what Black Americans can and cannot do, I'm the first one to stand up and set that shit straight, because it was on the backs of my people the reason why you're able to come over here, blend in, and act the way you act. Let's get down to it, because not until about really 2020 did you see a lot of Black Americans doing that great migration and going back to the continent.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just call a spade, baby. And notice I said Black Americans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, and Pan-Africanism has been one-sided for years. Now, I will give, let's say, second-generation Africans their just due by trying to, you know, mend relationships. But
yeah, they do what they can.
Yeah, and they really are.
Most of the time, it's also them who like to talk crazy outside their neck.
Oh, because they was bred and learned it from home.
Yeah.
And I really don't care.
No, I don't care.
I treat it like
but you better keep that shit over there. If you ain't ready,
yeah.
You better keep that shit that way.
But then I also don't like the notion too, like, and it's just a cultural difference. They don't understand, like, the host going, they call it bullying. I just hate the label of roasting somebody like bullying, because that's just not our culture like that.
Yeah, because I say,
and I can get how I can probably feel. Like you being attacked.
I can see how I feel like you're getting attacked, you're getting piled up on.
Yeah,
I will never take that feeling away from you. Absolutely, right. Like but
please listen. Like when I say, is no malice coming from it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And something I always stand true to is I say all the time, Black people, at our core, we're just not that type of people. At our core, we're not violent. Violence was taught, babes.
The one you own or scoring on the most, that's really the person you love the most.
Foundational Black Americans have to go there with a bag. We ain't going over there empty-handed. If we go over there, they want to see what we're holding, ma'am. Let's not play that game. Those African nations are not welcoming us. Ma'am, I've been over there. You're talking to somebody who's been all over there. I've been over there damn near begging for dual citizenship for foundational Black Americans in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, Tanzania. I'm over there begging some of the officials, hey, man, why don't y'all have easy dual citizenship? Y'all have all of this beautiful land. Yeah, it's beautiful, very beautiful out there. But all of this beautiful land out here, just spaces and acres of land that's untapped. We can bring capital. We have access to resources over in America. Why don't y'all open the doors for us and give us dual citizenship with no red tape? Nobody was really biting. That's just the reality of it, ma'am. We can sit up here and talk all that coon. They weren't biting on it. And that was the least they can do for us, because we don't get anything from this whole Pan-African thing. This Pan-African thing has been one-sided. Pan-African is basically foundational Black Americans fighting to get everybody to come over here and eat off us. That's what it's been for the last 60 years. It has been one-sided.
Did you say that one more time? Or, excuse me, rephrase that?
I said Pan-Africanism, the whole Pan-Africanism thing has been one-sided. At it only. Us over here fight to help everybody come over here and eat off us, and we get nothing in return, ma'am. Pan-Africanism, ma'am. It is one-sided, is it not?
I don't think so.
Okay, what have you done over in the continent to welcome foundational Black Americans in large numbers? All you did, ma'am, was spew a bunch of catchphrases. You just said a bunch of nothing burgers, ma'am. I asked you what y'all doing, and you start making up some stuff about some oil. You're just making stuff up off your head, ma'am. some oil and your family and connect. We got to get together and let's not have some doubt. Ma'am, this is called babbling. This is called babbling, ma'am. And what it is, a lot of you want to get in these spaces and you know you're not really bringing anything to the table. So when you don't bring anything to the table, y'all try to babble in order to mask this fact, ma'am. And that's the thing with us. We don't really like people coming around babbling incessantly, spewing a bunch of word salad and nothing burgers, knowing that you're not really bringing anything to the table. That's very passive aggressive.
Okay, listen. You guys keep trying to use Pan-Africanism to mask your disrespect. Again, you're using Pan-Africanism to mask your disrespect. When somebody tells you that we are not you, we are ethnic Black American, we are a separate group, we do not identify as you, we do not want to identify as you, and you keep saying we're all black, but in fact you know that's not true, and you're trying to force Pan-Africanism, but really it's disrespect. It's not truly Pan-Africanism, it's disrespect. And because you know good and well that if you were in your home countries, you would be waving your flag talking about I'm proud to be whatever it is that you are. If you're from Africa, you'd be I'm proud to be whatever tribe. You'd be sitting there talking about whatever your tribe's little call is, that's what you be doing. Whatever, if you're Caribbean, whatever flag and whatever music that you listen to, you be dancing to, talking about I'm Trini, I'm Jamaican, or whatever. Okay, so stop trying to pretend like you don't understand what we're saying when we're saying we are not all black, we are ethnic Black American. And then when you say, hey, well, you know, the non-melon, the YT man doesn't care what we are, that's why we are delineating, and that's why we're saying we're not the same. Because we don't center our group, our ethnic group, based on how those people see us. We just don't. Like some of us do, but the majority of our group, we do not center ourselves and we do not define ourselves by the way that the police see us, or the YT government sees us, or the YT community sees us. That's how your group wants to see yourself in reflection of how the YT person sees you. That's fine, but that's not how we do. And this just further explains why we're delineating. Stop using Pan-Africanism to erase us. Stop using Pan-Africanism to disrespect us, because we're not having it. All it does is make us, it doesn't make us say, oh yeah, you're right. No, it just makes us you understand that you're disrespectful and you're even more in terms of erasure. And we're just going to dig in our heels even more. So we just want to keep going. We're getting larger, stronger, and your antics are converting people every day more and more and more so. So just shout out to us. And if those of you who are tuning in who don't know what ethnic Black Americans are, it means we are not Afro-Caribbean, we are not Afro-Latina, we are not African, we are not Aboriginals from Australia. They have indigenous people in every country. We're not melanated indigenous from Japan or wherever. We are ethnic Black American. That means that we are Black people who have been in America at minimum since 1526. Our ancestors built America through forced, I don't know if I can say it, but rhymes with Mavery. Okay, and then add the SL. We are the descendants of the people who built this country. Some people, and I know for me, for a fact, my cousin just did, I pushed him, he just did my genealogy or whatever on my mother's side, and we definitely have indigenous in our blood. So we are a mixed group of people. I'm not saying that my 5 centuries, 6 centuries, 8 centuries ago that nobody ever came from West Africa. I am not saying that. But what I'm saying is that we are definitely indigenous to this land. We are a mixed group of people. And this is who we are. And when I mean mixed, I mean like we have Black indigenous. We may have African, and we unfortunately have European as well. So we're not African. We're not Caribbean. We're not Hispanic. We're not Latino. We are American. We're American. We are one of the oldest ethnic groups in America. And so that is who we are. Stop using Pan-Africanism to try to erase that, to disrespect us, because you want to do that. When you know good and well, when you go home and you eat your ackee and saltfish, and you look around and you have your flags all up and down, when you're eating your doubles, if you're Trini, and you got your flags flying and you're listening to your soca with your parents and laughing and joking, or if you're at home and you're listening to Mark Anthony, or you're listening to No Le Pega la Negra, you are celebrating your culture and you understand that you're different from us. So keep that same energy. When you go home and, you know, y'all talk about how you need to go send money back to your home countries to help your families out. And you need to make sure that cousin such and such is trying to get over here. How do we help them get a visa? Or how do we help them fill out the paperwork? You know that you're different from us. So stop it. Be proud of where you're from and understand that we're different.
Y'all not about to gaslight me to giving a fuck about that Pan-Africanism ideology when y'all only Pan-African in America and you're only Pan-African when you feel threatened by white people's racism. Because when white people was using y'all as tools of white supremacy to try to deny systemic oppression, they were saying, oh, well, Africans or Caribbeans were doing better than y'all, and y'all was preaching that same rhetoric. Where the fuck was Pan-Africanism in? Where the fuck was this? Oh, we black progression and this and that. Then no, you niggas happily sat on that fucking dog bed where white people told y'all was better than African Americans, and y'all sit right here and repeat the same rhetoric. Same thing where African and Caribbean culture didn't even blew the fuck up. Only a couple songs blew up. You niggas got a big fucking head, and you came in our spaces trying to dictate Black America, what the fuck Black Americans celebrate. And what we do in our spaces, they was coming in our space telling us we're tired of Black American culture. We want African and Caribbean culture. We told y'all fuck nah. Y'all gonna do that shit up north. The only thing I sit around and say about Black Americans, at least we told y'all fuck nah when it came y'all thinking y'all come in our spaces and tell us what the fuck we can and can't do. Niggas on here talking about saying, I'm tired of avocado food. I'm tired of avocado food. I'm ready to go back home. I'm tired of hip-hop, all type of shit. Right? Telling Black Americans we're the white people or black people because we was telling y'all people were being xenophobe back towards y'all. But then y'all was now xenophobe towards Black Americans in y'all comments. Now, all of a sudden, and mind you, this was a couple of months ago. Right? This is some shit that happened a couple of months ago. Now, since y'all feel more threatened and see that and feel that threat, it's starting to grow. And white people actually don't give a fuck about y'all. Now it's Pan-Africanism. No, if you didn't want to preach Pan-Africanism when it was supposed to peace, don't preach that shit when it's supposed to war and you feel threatened. And then this crazy thing about it is niggas only want to preach that shit over here. They don't even preach that shit in their home country. Niggas got a whole country got a whole fucking civil war going on. Niggas don't ever go back home and preach that shit to them. They run to America, telling us what the fuck we can and can't do and what the fuck make us black or not. What makes us, too American or not. Bitch, you can't tell me shit. You ran from your home country soon as trouble started happening. Right? Soon as trouble happened, them niggas ran from their home country over here. I don't want to hear that shit.
If your country is led by tribalism, religion, and or culture, I can almost guarantee you that the vast majority of the people that's living in that society are living under like crushing poverty. I mean, and I'm talking about like little to no infrastructure, shanty towns all across the country. And the reason why I'm saying that is because I noticed that a lot of people who are arguing back and forth with Black Americans have a lot of very tribalistic talking points, and it's always hyper focused on like their culture, their tribes and stuff like that, that none of that stuff is marketable. None of that.
Everybody, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment in the live chat. And also, if you want to donate, I'm going to put the donations in the live chat right now. Give me a second, everyone. And you can donate to these live chats. So we do have Venmo. You just got to start from @Rochelle Perkins. So yeah, those are the links that you can donate donations to. So definitely, if you got if you can, do it. If you can't, just share for me. That'll help until the show starts to take off. But thank you for the people who do donate. So I will say that thank you to the people who do donate to the show.
Stuff is sellable. So if that is like the main focus like of your country, everybody's all so tribalistic and so divided and just fighting back and forth with each other over stuff that isn't even sellable, that nobody even cares about other than you, then your country is probably going to be destitute. People are arguing back and forth with me about culture and languages and stuff that, like, if you're from a capitalist society, like, nobody cares about that stuff. Like, that's the reason why I feel like a lot of Black Americans feel like Pan-Africanism does not benefit Black Americans, because all of the talking points are always about what we can do for Africa, how we can build up Africa and help Africa, how we can send reparations over to Africa. And it's like, well, what do we get out of that? In exchange for that, you're offering us a connection to our roots, a connection to our heritage, our lineage, nothing that can help us, nothing that can help build us up as a people that can actually benefit us, our descendants. Like, I'm sorry, but money in exchange for culture, it's not equal. Like, I'm sorry, you don't have to come with something a lot better than that. If we're actually going to work together in a Pan-Africanist type of way, you got to offer more than languages and culture, because there's just not enough value there. And I'm not talking about raw resources that half of you guys wouldn't even be able to tell us where to even find raw resources, don't even know what to even do with them. I'm talking about real economic growth. I'm talking about, people in my comment section talking about, you don't know your language. Who cares? Let's talk about economics. Let's talk about building. Let's talk about making money. Let's talk about stuff that actually is going to build up societies. All of that tribalism talk is the reason why a lot of these countries look like shit. And I'm just being all the way real, because you're hyper focused on culture and all this stuff that doesn't benefit anybody. Doesn't benefit anybody except you and your site. Nobody's buying that. The only culture that's being bought, honestly, is Black American culture. The United States has done a good job at selling our culture to the entire world, but other than that, most countries can't do that. Okay, like, if you really look at China is like a superpower. They are not hyper focused on their own culture on a global scale. Okay, they're focused on manufacturing. They make everything. Every time there's something, a new trend that comes out, or a new trinket that everybody wants to buy, you best believe that China is on top of their game. They're gonna have that product out by next week, because their focus is on the capitalism, the economic part of whatever. They're focused on economics, they're not hyper focused on tribalism and culture. So I have yet to see a society that has all of these tribalistic talking points that is actually successful financially. Get out of your emotions. Those emotions will have you broke, period. I'm not saying that the United States is perfect, but what I am saying is that it wouldn't be so many people that need to flee their country that are suffering. Like, people are suffering and trying to find here, there, and everywhere to go to try to have an opportunity for a better life. They flocking over here. They flock into the UK. They flock into different European nations. It's like they're trying to flee because the focus of their nation is all this corruption, and the focus is not on the right things that will help the society build and grow.
See, it's comments here like Lazar Abdul Rahim's. I'm not even gonna get into that, but why do y'all feel the need to constantly say we? And then the moment you go and say we as if we are the same people, you get right into the disrespect. Talking about how we spend our money on Hennessy and Ciroc. And we blaming Africans. We don't blame y'all for shit. We don't even care. I don't know why y'all don't get that through y'all head, bro. We don't care. Yeah, y'all are trying to connect to us. We're not trying to connect to y'all. We're not running back to Africa for shit. So, personally, I'm not an FBA. I support the movement. And I damn sure ain't a Pan-Africanist. I'm on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all run around speaking about other people's history and this and that, but don't know shit about your own. I suggest you take time to find out where your ancestors came from. Why are you worried about what other people doing? I post content mostly for educational purposes. Yeah, sometimes I may do some banter back and forth, some discord with people, but the reality is, let me tell you something, man. We don't care. Why is that a problem? Why y'all so bothered by the fact that we don't give a shit about Africa? A vast majority of us ain't even from Africa. A vast majority of Africans ain't even from Africa. So I don't understand what's this obsession with y'all and wanting to have black people in y'all mouth. So I'm going to say this in the words of the late Notorious Big. May black Americans' name taste like ass when you speak it, player. Stop worrying about us. Worry about you. You also made in the comment talking about, we unalive each other. Come on now, yo. What's going on in the Congo? What's going on in Ghana right now? Kicking Nigerians out. What's going on in Sudan? That it was so horrible that they had to make a separate Sudan. What's going on in South Africa? Rwanda. I mean, come on, let's stop. Let's stop. We're worried about our own affairs and our own matters. We're worried about not unaliving each other. That's what we're focused on. We're focused on continuity in our community. And y'all coming in trying to be disruptors and agents of chaos, bro. Stop worrying about black Americans. If we're not on the continent of Africa, then why the fuck you worried about us? If we have no impact on what you're doing and we're not a global entity, then why the fuck are you worried about us? Damn. Please, stay the hell up out my comments. I don't care how I look phenotypically. You don't know what genetically is in me. You don't know what my ethnicity is, just based upon my looks. There's a lot of melanated groups and peoples all over the world that are not African. Get off that shit. Get off that shit. Build your own countries, your own nations, and leave us the fuck out of your conversations. And with that being said, I'm actually at work, and I even took time while I'm on my break to make this video. So, little Abdul Rahim, which isn't that Arabic, I don't even know if that's an African name, but worry about y'all. That's all we ask. Worry about y'all.
The reason black Americans don't take Pan-Africanism seriously is because we've never seen it in the places where it actually makes sense. What we see, by and large, are black immigrants who come here and preach Pan-Africanism, which makes absolutely no sense because America has 30 or 40 million black folks. Okay. We don't have any resources. We don't control any industries. Like, literally, we have no control over natural resources in this country. We do not control anything. We have nothing to offer. This country only has jobs from white people. Meanwhile, in Africa, there are hundreds of, like close to 1 billion black people. All the natural resources in the world that black folks could theoretically control because you have the numbers. You can control industry. Like, why not go home and preach that? As we sit here right now, we have Ghanaians trying to kick Nigerians out of their country. Where's the Pan-Africanism? As we sit here, in 2024, there was a sister who went for a beauty pageant in South Africa. But her dad, I believe, was like Nigerian, her mother's from Mozambique. And they lost their mind because they felt like, you're not really one of us. Again, where's the Pan-Africanism? Now, again, to be fair, these are just sort of select cherry-picked examples. But you get the point. For some reason, this concept seems to only be salient here in America, where, again, we don't have the numbers and we don't have the resources. This concept would be taken much more seriously if we saw it work back there. Right? Like, if we saw close to 1 billion black people rise up collectively to challenge white dominance. Not to get a few jobs from white people, but to actually challenge the domination. To say, we're going to control the resources collectively. Borders don't matter. We're one people. If we saw that movement, successfully, where you got the numbers, like tomorrow you could do this, this would be a concept that would make much more sense, but we don't see that. So whether it's Marcus Garvey or whomever, you see immigrants coming here and saying, let's preach Pan-Africanism. And so it's just a challenge for us because we've never seen this concept work where it makes the most sense for it to work, where it could actually work. And so from our perspective, it just sounds like you're trying to eat off my plate rather than how can we make a whole plate factory. Your best position, we're not. Yes, America has a much larger economy than all of these other countries. We don't have access to it. We're literally competing for a few jobs from white people. That's what we got. Why is that? Well, we've just never been in a really good position, right? So, yes, there was slavery in the Caribbean, but the British left. The French left. We had to live
a one-sided.
I'm gonna end here. I'm gonna land and I'm gonna say my point. Black Americans don't benefit off of Africans. Um, all they do is gaslight us and try to help them build fucking Africa, make it be a power infrastructure. But you gotta understand as well, we're not gonna see any benefit from it because first of all, they're not giving us no type of citizenship to make us citizens, dual citizens, to have any like piece of the pie. This is a part of their culture, and this is what we have to deal with. Give me a second. What's the keys at? Yeah, this is what you just have to deal with when you're dealing with Africans and stuff like that. Especially political Africans. Um, so don't we can't get mad about it, but it's just a part of who they are and what they stand for. I don't think we have any. I don't think we have any allies, and yeah, we're just gonna have to deal with it. And do everything ourselves. You know, we are the minority, but we did more as the minority as these people have done as majority. You know, so yeah, it's we are very special people, and that's all I can tell you. I want to start. I want to thank Ray Ray, thank FBA Convo, thank Shabaka, Breeze Omega, salute, DS1, DSA1, Kwame, let's get it, 004, uh, Tamika Burrow, if I'm saying your name right. I'm sorry if I butcher it. Jeff, salute to Jeff. Um, oh, that's Uncode. Shout out to Uncle Dorsey and Dorsey. Shout out to Shorty McGriff. Shout out to Graham Green. Shout out to Franklin White. And shout out to Night. Who's it? I think that's indigenous. That's Indigenous Warrior. And shout out to all the people who subscribed today. Thank you. I do appreciate it. The numbers is going up, and it's because of all of y'all. Thank you for watching my show. Thank you for participating. And I'll see you probably tonight or today, later on or tomorrow. You know, so well tomorrow night. Yeah. And take care, everybody.